my favorite moment in this entire... Maybe I should complicate this before I start speaking here.
DC just never, ever stops with this news. I mean, geez. So to discuss this, I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, man?
Not much, my friend. What is up?
So it's me and Nick tonight. Jay Heat will be joining us pretty soon. So we're talking about, all right. So they finally announced who the new DC head is. One step forward, two step back. No one gets too far on that. Dude, okay. So as we mentioned, it's James Gunn. Now, here's the thing. As it applies to him taking over as the DC person, I think we all have to stop jumping to conclusions that he's just going to tank the whole thing and make it all an R-rated F fest.
I mean, to be fair, I do understand the causes for the calls for concern. I do understand why people are hesitant. I do understand the fears. I totally get it. So for the people who are reacting that way, I totally understand your reaction. It is a perfectly reasonable reaction given James Gunn's past. I totally get it. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're not wrong for thinking that. Honestly, people have every right to feel that way. For me, I'm cautiously optimistic because I feel like it could go either way. There's a lot of the way he handled. I'm not a fan of how he handled Peacemaker, but the same token, he has done some really good stuff. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, I still think was actually a really good film, and he wrote Scooby-Doo, which I thought was actually a really good tribute. And he's tweeted out a lot of things. He's actually friends with Zack Snyder. He's talked about he's actually said good things about Snyder Cut fans. He said, yeah, some of them are bad, but most of them are pretty good. That's more than we've gotten out of anyone else.
Yeah, for the past
Also, he's a Kamen Rider fan, so I can't really I can't really bag my fellow Rider fans.
Yeah, and here's the thing that people have to realize: he is a comic book nerd. You know how you know that? Have you seen his lineup for Suicide Squad? Yeah, it was all really, really deep cuts into DC lore, and he talks about all the time about how much he loves these characters. Now, here's the thing. I know some people are concerned about what he would do with Superman, for instance. He's not going to do Superman since he said he's not interested. He personally is not interested in doing the well-known characters. He wants to do the ones where there's no expectations on people. And well, that makes sense because as Zack Snyder fans, we know how crazy classic Soup fans are.
I think honestly, for Snyder Cut people, I feel like this is even more reason to feel like he will bring in Zack Snyder.
Because they're best friends. They're close friends, and they talk regularly. Regularly.
Zack Snyder has actually consulted on some of the recent James Gunn films.
Yeah, he recommended the stunt coordinator for Peacemaker to James Gunn. And James Gunn has expressed interest in the Ayer cut. Back when the Suicide Squad was coming out, there was a new push for the Ayer cut, and someone asked, "Well, so what do you think about this?" He's like, "Yeah, totally fine." And what's interesting here...
What if they announce a Suicide Squad 3 written by James Gunn but directed by David Ayer?
That'd be cool. But what I think they're going to do is pretty much confirmed that David Ayer is going to do a viewing of the Ayer cut, like a screening for executives, and James Gunn starts in his new position actually next week, which that surprised me. I was like, oh wow, that's fast.
You can tell they were waiting for Black Adam to drop all this news. You can tell that this was planned.
Yeah, and what's interesting about it is he is going to conceivably he's going to be there for the screening. So when he sees this and he finds out, okay, so it's 2.5 hours and it's literally almost done. Why don't we just go ahead and release this at least on an HBO Max? Just give it a streaming thing, and that way you can be done with it.
HBO Max limited theater release.
Plus, here's the thing, though. You know what's in fashion right now? Bashing the previous regime. What greater way to show how much the old regime was a bunch of screw ups than to release the Ayer cut? Because if it's good, like the Snyder cut was, it's going to make them all look like the morons they are.
I agree.
In fact, you know what? I think that after we watch the Ayer cut, we should be able to pretty much essentially just have this going on repeat.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
So,
Yeah,
are you saying the Ayer cut is basically just going to be that clip on repeat for 2.5 hours? Because I would go see that in theaters.
Except it's going to be David Ayer saying it.
Again, I would go see that in theaters.
I would go see that in theaters with popcorn and everything. But yeah, I understand. Like, I agree to echo what Nick said. Yeah, I understand why some people are concerned, but what you have to understand is that I think people are overestimating how much of a like stylistically role he's going to have in this, because he's not necessarily going to be like directing every movie and deciding what creatives and stuff.
Let's kind of put this. Was Hamada directing all those films? Like, yeah, because here's the. Will James Gunn have an influence? Yes, of course. Will he be literally sitting in the director's chair of every movie, making every decision down to the minute detail? No. I don't even think he's going to be directing any of these movies, because if he's the head of it, he's not even going to have time. Like, you think Kevin Feige directs any of these movies?
If anything, what's probably going to happen is that we're going to see less of James Gunn's own projects, because guess what? Oh, yes, because here's the thing. Because I get the feeling that James Gunn knows what a controversial decision his release is. So can you imagine the goodwill that comes from releasing the Ayer cut?
Not impressed.
What's up, JD?
Oh, the Trinity is complete.
Yeah, we got the boys. So all right, so JD, I got to ask you.
Wait.
Yeah, what's up?
So since we all have superhero positions. So so obviously Jared's Superman, I'm Batman. What are you, Taladia? Which
That's
one
not Taladia. First off, you should.
I'm sorry.
His team's name is.
Sorry, J Heat. What are you?
Pick a DC superhero. It can't be anyone. You don't have to be Wonder Woman.
No, that's Snyder Queen.
Yeah, of course.
I would say either Martian Manhunter or John Stewart Green Lantern.
Both are excellent choices.
I was gonna say Green Lantern, but I didn't want to be like.
What are you trying to say, Nick?
That's exactly what I wanted to avoid.
You're racist. I'm only kidding, brother. But so, all right. So Jay Heat, all right. Your reaction to the news today?
It could go either way. I mean, we've seen the impossible. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you are officially Green Lantern.
Yeah,
he is Green Lantern.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let all who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
That's the only Green Lantern.
I'll take it.
I have. I need to get more.
Bro, you need to mine Justice League, and Justice League alone did for a really good clip of John Stewart Green Lantern.
Actually, it's funny you should mention that the Green Lantern John Stewart animated movie in the Tomorrowverse just got on HBO Max. So I'm gonna start mining that for John Stewart clips.
Yeah, get something for J Heat. Yeah.
If I find a good one.
Has anyone here seen that movie yet?
I haven't.
Loved it.
You are in for a treat.
It is amazing, Nick. Well, let me ask you this, Jay Heat. If I find a really good clip, do you want that to be your intro instead of that Superman clip?
I'm keeping the not impressed, man. That's
that's your thing. That. Hey, what's up, Tevia? I need a Super Sons clip for whenever Tevia's in the chat.
Oh, Tevia, you missed it. You missed like the latter half of the stream. We were talking about Goliath, Super Sons, everything. You missed it.
Yeah, you missed it, dude.
We
were just talking about Super Sons.
I thought if you said Super Sons, Tevia suddenly appears in chat. I thought that was like he's got like, did someone say Super Sons? Did someone say Super Sons?
You see, the way it works is that if you say Super Sons, he will eventually show up. But so, all right. So James Gunn being the new head of DC Films. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I get Chad, the Snyderverse. Let's see what he says. I have my own feelings about Gunn, but I'm willing to put all this aside and look him strictly as an exec. I think he has a chance to prove himself, but definitely has an uphill battle. Yeah, but here's
pretty much Chad pretty much summed up my feelings, honestly.
Me too. He has an uphill battle, but can you imagine the goodwill if all of a sudden he says, okay, so first I'm going to release the Ayer cut. That's because we know that next week is the viewing for the Ayer cut in front of Warner Brothers Executive. That's confirmed to be happening. And since Gunn starts next week, it's conceivable that he would actually be at that screening and be able to like decide. Because think about it this way, Gunn is able to greenlight stuff now, so he could say release that, and then can you imagine for the final coup de grace, he says, okay, so as a producing advisor, I brought on Zack Snyder.
Also, he also kind of says, "Oh, by the way, releasing the Schumacher cut as well."
Oh yeah, he imagine all because he's a filmmaker.
That's a pipe dream, Nick. The day I see that's the day I win the lottery.
I mean, to be fair, that one is going to be easy to follow because like they got the footage, and all it is just editing it. You know.
True. I mean, let me put it this way: Snyder Cut came out, so anything's possible at this point. We got the Snyder Cut in a Super Sons movie. Anything's possible at this point.
And speaking of the Super Son,
not necessarily.
I mean, I think they've pretty much already been effectively canceled.
Well, here's effectively canceled. Yeah. By the way, the J.J. Abrams Superman, I don't think is going to happen.
Give me an icon movie. Like,
yes.
Seriously.
Might as well.
They could actually change that with reshoots into an icon movie and put it in the DCU. But it's called the DCU now, not the DCEU.
By the way, Michael B. Jordan would make an amazing icon.
Or like Calvin Ellis, because that's what he wants to do in his movie.
But I don't want another Superman character. I want icon.
I got to see him be more akin to Static Shock. Just avoid the Superman motif and just have him be static.
If it's older Static Shock, like it's like let's say it's like a Batman Beyond kind of thing, I could see him doing it. But I think Michael B. Jordan's a little bit too old to play because like Virgil, though I always see him as like late teens, early 20s. Like I know that kid from Stranger Things wanted to be Static Shock, and honestly, I think he'd probably do a pretty good job.
Remains to be seen, but
and Chad,
he's got the look. He looks like it. He looks like he could be Virgil.
He does, and Chad brings up a great point. Imagine if he also brings back Ray. That would be if he essentially just repair. Because can you imagine Jay Heat? You know what's in fashion right now? Bashing the old regime. So can you imagine the big FU to the previous regime if he releases the Ayer cut and it's amazing?
Oh,
by the way, and to coup de grace, he canonizes the Snyder cut.
You know what I want to. You know what? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Nick. You were first.
You know what a great way to bring back Cyborg?
What?
Have him be an advisor to the Teen Titans.
Yeah, that's actually a great way to do that.
Have him be the Justice League, because that way you can get Cyborg as part of the Teen Titans.
Didn't DCAMU do the same thing?
But Starfire was the leader of it.
Not real.
Co-leading. Nightwing was.
They didn't really have. But we will be talking about the DCAMU tonight. We're gonna have our continuity stream because might as well, because I don't think we're gonna be talking about this for last.
Starfire was pretty much the leader. Dick Grayson was just dating Starfire, plus he was respected, so like he went on missions with them, but he wasn't really, when he was there, he was the co-leader, but Starfire pretty much ran the team.
I'm just going to say this. Mm-hmm. Even if you are adapting the story panel by panel, shot for shot, outside of a roster change, nothing justifies the level of debauchery Nightwing pulled in that film in context. Because you were overly sentimental to the situation. If this is someone who was trained and raised by Batman.
Wait, what film are we talking about?
Judas Contract.
Okay, what exactly are you talking? Like, which points are you talking about? Because him and Starfire were a relationship.
No. Basically, in the second act, how Damian was tortured for for the second and third acts, and how they didn't notice the signs. They weren't very perceptive enough. It just felt like you could have played it off a lot better. Had Damian just outright go on his own, then get captured, rather than just having a throwaway line to insinuate he's being thrown under the bus to take him down a peg.
True.
Yeah, they did something similar in Titans, where like they literally drove Jason Todd to go to his top of the roof and they had to talk him down. That was like Titans is cringy, but like they somehow found it. Like Rock Bottom had a basement with that scene.
By the way, speaking of Titans, just real quick, we may be starting a weekly Titans review show pretty soon. And the thing is that because I believe
I'll do it. I'm gonna be cringing, but I'll do it.
Yeah, we're all. It'll be on this channel. Like we still have to figure out a day and time. It'll probably be on the weekend. The weekends are gonna be really booked for content, but we'll make it work. So
we could always make it pre-recorded and then release it during the week.
Yeah, exactly. Because can you imagine if he brings back Zack Snyder? That is a game changer right there.
So many people would lose their goddamn minds.
Mm-hmm.
On both sides.
On both sides. On both sides, I think a few of the toxic members of the fandom would start to turn against Zack, saying he's a sellout. How could he work with James Gunn?
How dare he do the thing we've always wanted him to do?
Actually, he probably could because he's in charge of animation too. Because he's greenlighting stuff now. So actually, Tevia, that could actually, it's more likely now. Still, I'd say it's about, before it was like 25%. Now it's like 45%, I think.
I will play devil's advocate for Tevia. In a situation like that, given what Young Justice was building up to, if you really want the Super Sons that badly, you might as well just have a Teen Titans spinoff based on Young Justice or Young Justice adjacent, like the Green Arrow showcase.
In the same continuity?
I have an idea.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
What if they do a animated Superman movie directed by Zack Snyder?
So in other words, they actually bring that's how they bring him back. They just do the animated stuff.
Okay. Well, no. It's more of a easing him back in. You know, like they have him do an animated feature or two because he's proven he can do that. You know.
Yeah.
And they kind of just get his foot back in the door, get him back in the building, and then they bring him back onto it.
That could work.
It would be a good transition piece. It just depends on which IPs he's given. The last thing we need is a Heroes in Crisis situation.
Oh my god!
What if he did Justice League the Nail? What if he that Elseworld story, Justice League the Nail?
I know, but you know, it'd be hilarious. He does Heroes in Crisis, but improves it. Is that a big F you to Tom King? Like it's actually is Zack Snyder's Heroes in Crisis is amazing. Can you imagine that?
Heroes in Crisis, and an animated series, an animated directed video written by James Gunn, directed by Zack Snyder. No.
That's overkill. If it was
James Gunn would have people having sex in a closet, there'd be blood and guts everywhere. No.
James Gunn can go a little overboard when he wants to be. He's kind of like the Paul Dini of DC.
I've seen Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Nick, you do not want that in Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah.
Imagine
James Gunn directing an episode of The Boys.
Oh, I could see that. I could see that. See, he should do a boys movie. That would be more fitting with
that'd be more fitting.
But
see, James Gunn, only James Gunn could make a boys episode more cringy than Herogasm.
Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
What was hilarious, by the way, and then we'll get right back to James Gunn, is that I remember on Twitter everyone was hyping up Herogasm, and then all of a sudden it's like you watch the episode and I'm like, that's it. Right.
Yeah, that's like not only where the fans were, they were like heavily promoting it, like the official portions, like the official media. They've been hyping it up all season. It was just like part of an episode. It wasn't even the main focus.
Thank you, Bika.
Yeah, you know it's bad when he's an improvement over Batcest.
Which really isn't saying very much.
Yeah, and no one wants a Heroes in Crisis movie. Yes, Tevia, we know. We're just responding to what Nick said. Because no one wants a Heroes in Crisis movie, Nick. I got news for you. Even from Zack Snyder, probably. Because actually, no. Maybe with Zack Snyder, if he makes another hero other than Wally West, the villain.
Okay, this is out there. This will never happen. But a live action Gotham by Gaslight, directed by Zack Snyder, starring like Ben Affleck as Batman and all the other people as their respective people.
That would never happen.
No, you would have a completely different cast. I see where you're going with this.
I see where you're going, but
Zack Snyder would do a great job with it.
He would do a good job with it, but
he would.
I mean, it's not the most crazy idea you've had on this stream so far.
And we've heard some crazy things behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm the new guy.
Oh, I got it. James Gunn directs the next Super Sons movie. That's for you, Tevia. But anyway, I would...
No. Okay, you want to hear the craziest idea?
Oh, yeah.
Doomsday Clock, directed by James Gunn.
No, directed by Zack Snyder.
Give it to Zack Snyder.
Directed by Zack Snyder. written by James Gunn.
No. In
No.
no way does James Gunn touch that. No.
No.
I
He's
love
like
how,
Zack Snyder.
I love how the idea was so bad. You guys started talking.
Stop making bad ideas, Nick.
You deserve that.
You
I mean,
definitely
yeah,
deserve that one. So
For
back
sure.
to James Gunn. But I think well, first off, I think most of the backlash is just people. Oh yeah, Tevia likes my idea, but I think a lot of the backlash that came from this is just people who wanted Zack Snyder to be the new DC head, which that was never going to happen. Period. That was I can tell you right there.
No.
After what went down.
Trust me, that would be funny.
No.
But
If this was in 20, that might have been possible in like 2013, but no, not now.
He was in 2013. Actually, it was more. I mean, if we had a better regime,
they never made it official.
Yeah, if the regime were not idiots, they would have made it official after the Snyder Cut came out and was successful.
And really, the Snyder Cut could have worked. All you had to do was cut out like maybe 30 to 45 minutes.
You'd have to cut out a full hour at least. Honestly, an hour and a half.
3 hours. It would have to be max 3 hours, and that's pushing it.
Yeah, 2.5 hours ideal, but you might be able to get with 3 hours. But that, like you said, that'd be pushing up 2.5 hours would have been ideal. You have to cut out like an hour and a half of the movie, which
but
could have been done.
Get away with 3 hours, and you had the entire MCU as momentum leading up to that.
Yeah, but
people were used to it at that point.
Also, Snyder Cut didn't have the luxury of 15 years of really good movies to build up to that. Like, you got to realize DC was in a really bad position at that time. Like, if they were releasing the Snyder Cut now and they just been releasing DC films building up to it, they could have done 3 hours and it would have been fine. But that would have required 10 plus years of building up to it. Which the MCU had that luxury. DC still doesn't.
This is a hot take. If you kept the original agreement with Christian Bale and the Dark Knight trilogy and have it directly carry over into that vision.
Well, the problem was
you have the buildup, you have the momentum. The only difference
there's one problem. Christian Bale, they offered him $50 million to appear as Batman. That actually happened, and he still declined. They offered him $50 million. I mean, that was probably over multiple films, mind you. But like, they offered him that much money, and he still declined.
Honestly, too, I wouldn't want another Christian Bale Batman because I was done with him after Dark Knight Rise. I keep calling it Dark Knight Returns, but Dark Knight Rises because I hated his voice. It got progressively worse.
To be fair, a lot of that was just editing, and you could have just done a voice modulator, and that would have been the end of it.
That's true.
And also, if Christian Bale's on board, there's also a distinct possibility that Christopher Nolan would still be a part of this, and then you'd have Zack. Like, imagine Justice League, like with directed by Zack Snyder with imagine Batman v Superman with Zack Snyder directing, Christopher Nolan producing, co-writing the story. And he's like
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And see, the only problem is it would have been it would have been Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Batman because of remember the ending of Dark Knight Rises, which
they could have made him Nightwing.
Well, he was Robin, but like the thing is he was supposed to be taking over for Batman. Like if that people don't realize that's what we would have gotten. It would have been Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Because, like, the ending of Dark Knight Rises was very clear. Batman retires, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt takes the place of Batman.
Why did you say that name?
I had to because of that atrocious Robin thing. I had to.
And they try to downplay it in the marketing. Like, we get it. This is obviously an older Dick Grayson substitute.
Kind of a Dick Grayson, but yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, his name is Robin. Are you kidding me?
It's kind of a very badly done. Have your cake and eat it too moment. Yeah, I wasn't. I like the character. And literally, if they would have just edited out that line, I would have had no problem with the ending. Yeah,
but Nick, you gave me an interesting idea bringing up Nolan. So you know how Ben Affleck is supposed to get a Batman movie? Can you imagine if it's directed by Christopher Nolan?
I don't think he's going to do another Batman movie.
True, but under this new regime, he could come back because he hated the old regime.
Yeah, but even like I think the best you can hope for Nolan is to come in on a producing role and contribute creatively.
True. And by
maybe have him do Superman. I could maybe see Christopher Nolan directing Man of Steel 2.
But he's but he's more focused on the grounded aspect, grounded heroes, and Superman's not grounded. But
he did produce Man of Steel.
Now you could have
different
Christopher
than that.
Nolan on more street level heroes, Green Arrow, Black Canary, the Justice Society to an extent.
The problem with Christopher Nolan doing a Green Arrow movie, I feel like he'd fall into the trap that a lot of Green Arrow writers do, is where they make him Batman light, and I feel like Christopher Nolan would fall into that trap. You know, it's like at that point you might as well just bring back Stephen Amell.
But you have an already established older, wiser Batman, and then Green Arrow will reflect what Bruce used to be and what originally stand for.
Yeah, but he's not Batman. Green Arrow is not Batman.
That's true.
You can make
that's the thing that
now Tevye
it's the thing that a lot of Green Arrow writers it's a trap of making Green Arrow Batman and
Batman. Yeah, I understand it. They got away with it because of the bat embargo, but yeah, it's a very slippery slope.
And Tevye brings up an interesting point here that we can have a little more hope because The Rock was emphasizing this, and Gunn was emphasizing this. DC is not trying to be Marvel anymore because we all know how that turned out. We got Justice League, and that
I think
I know. I have to hang on.
Why did you say that name?
Oh, and I have one more. I'm
so sorry.
There you go. I have to do that. What were you saying, Nick?
Here's my interpretation of that. They are gonna I think Zaslav said he wants to do what Marvel did in the beginning, which is build the characters up, do an event film, and then do phases. And I feel like they're kind of slowly heading in that direction. I feel like they're kind of slowly heading in that direction. Because like they need to kind of basically build back up to Darkseid again.
Yeah. I agree with you, but I think the age of them trying to exactly be Marvel is done. But yeah, because here's the thing, since Marvel was the first to establish like a movie universe, yeah, they are like doing Marvel. But I think what The Rock was referring to is that we're just going to do our own thing. We're going to do what Marvel did in terms of establishing a shared cinematic universe, but have the DC flair on it.
A soft rebrand, not even a reboot, technically rebranding.
Well, they're rebooting their way of
retooling.
They're retooling their work like philosophy and saying, okay, so yes, we're not going to be able to, we're not going to carbon copy Marvel because these are not Marvel characters,
and they're not going to carbon copy what Zack Snyder was doing. I mean, they're very clearly taking what Zack Snyder is using as a foundation, and they're running with that. And they might even bring in Zack Snyder, and he might even like direct a few films and have input it, but this is not Zack Snyder's universe. It, the best we can hope for is he'll be invited to play in the sandbox again, which I think is a good chance of happening.
Yeah, I think it's a good chance happening with Gunn, and I think what'll happen is that they'll tell him, do you want to come in and like produce, but also do you want to do like a Justice League movie to like wrap up your Justice League story? We can have Darkseid invade. You can have all the different characters. It may not be necessarily the Nightmare timeline, and the Flash movie is coming out. It has a firm release date. Now, if Ezra's still Flash at the end of this, that's on whole nother discussion.
I think it was pretty clear that after this, Ezra's done.
Yeah, I believe the heavily backed up rumors that they're going to recast no matter what, which
especially since he's facing 26 years.
He's not going to get 26 years even if he's guilty, Nick.
He'll get a reduced sentence.
He'll get a reduced sentence.
I mean, at the very least, he's probably facing some jail time.
Not necessarily, because you know what happens when celebrities are arrested. He'll get a fine and maybe some like probation.
Still, I don't think he's going to be coming back as Flash.
No. The Flash thing.
You think they want someone who is convicted of sex crimes?
It's not the sex crimes that he's on trial for, dude. It's for the breaking and entering thing.
Breaking and entering, disturbing the peace.
But you still think they want to What is he facing? Felonies or misdemeanors?
I think it's felonies.
Felonies.
You think they want a convicted felon as a Flash?
No,
Changing
but
the subject, Tevia, this is for you. A League of Shadows movie.
they
With
introduced
Batman and
Damon.
Talia team up.
Oh,
I could see that as an animated movie, not live action.
Dude, Jay, you're bringing way better ideas than Nick did tonight, so I appreciate that. No offense,
I mean,
but-
it's literally in his name. Jay brings the heat.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, in terms of the Flash, yeah, I think that what they'll either do is recast Barry Allen, or they'll just bring in Wally West and say Barry's off in the Speed Force doing stuff.
I know who they're going to recast him with.
No, they're not doing it. Please stop. Stop. You bring that up more than Tevin.
Dylan Bryan.
Super Sons. Dylan, oh, actually, no. That works. Dylan O'Brien is Barry Allen. That could actually work.
I got you.
You know why? That's the one that I said they should use.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I wanted to punk you. I wanted to make you think.
I knew you were talking about Grant Gustin.
And that's a good subversion. That's subversion done right.
I didn't say that name. You did.
Ryan Johnson, take notes.
Yeah. Okay. So actually,
I've been waiting years to say that.
I'm not going to play that clip, but yeah. Again, I think Dylan O'Brien could do a pretty decent job. I think as Barry Allen, or even Wally West if they wanted to bring in Wally West.
As long as hey, if they want to give Dylan O'Brien a red dye job, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, don't stop the ginger side. But
yes, us redheads, we're sick of it.
Yeah. So in terms of where the DCU, it sounds so weird to say DCU instead of DCEU, goes from here, I think that what's going to be telling of the direction is what's the first project that James Gunn is going to greenlight. That's what we really have to look out for.
Believe it or not, I could actually see him doing that League of Shadow movie because you have the perfect sandbox, all the blood, all the gore, the savagery, the explosions. You literally, basically, imagine Son of Batman with Deathstroke leading that coup and killing Ra's and having a full-blown shadow war.
With Joe Manganiello?
I don't really see them doing that right off the bat. Maybe if they do like the Batman movie where they have the League of Shadows in it,
to establish Deathstroke too. That's actually you know what's kind of funny. Last time when we were talking about a Batman trilogy, when I think about it, Son of Batman does actually work well for a second movie. Particularly if we bring in Damian, and I know Tevia is going to say, and the post-credit scene they introduce John Kent.
Why would they do that in a Batman movie?
No, I'm just saying it doesn't make sense.
It's a joke.
No, but you know what I'll do? I'll modify him and make it the son of Kal-El, John Kent.
But okay, this one's for you, Tevia. Okay, so it's been what, like roughly 6, 7, 8 years since Justice League.
Yeah,
roughly.
Okay, let's pretend it's been 10 years since Justice League, and that during the events of Justice League, Lois was actually pregnant.
She was.
And Man of Steel 2 takes place 10 years after Justice League. And they're living their life, and Lois and Clark have a son named John, who's 10 years old.
Actually, that's interesting. Actually, what's kind of funny, a good movie to have the Super Sons being in. It wouldn't be a Super Sons movie, but it would be like their characters would be Kingdom Come.
But what I'm saying is, if you wanted a 10-year-old John Kent, you could do it. You could do that, and it could work.
Heavy's mad at me.
You brought up Kingdom Come. I have to say this. What is a more weird pairing? Ivan Zufrosh and Nightstar, or Batsest?
Batsest.
Do you know who Ivan Zufrosh and Nightstar is?
No.
Essentially, in concept-wise, Ivan Zufrosh is an alternate name for Damian Wayne, and Nightstar is the daughter of Dick Grayson and Starfire. Read Kingdom Come. Read Kingdom Come.
I'm still saying Batsest.
Well, actually,
take the grant. I mean, in context.
I know he didn't exist in Kingdom Come, but I'm talking about in a movie version of Kingdom Come, because neither did Damian Wayne. I'm just saying.
Ivan Zufrosh Technically the same if you're counting Son of the Demon.
Well, yeah.
See, what the reason why it's really hard is technically like there's like it's emotional incest more than like genetic incest, if you know what I mean. Because technically they're not related. Because Dick Grayson is adopted, Starfire is an alien. So technically, you know, but at the same time, they were effectively raised as cousins, probably.
Yeah, so it's still weird, but I still say the Bat Cess thing is the weirder one.
Okay, to get that taste out of my mouth, I will say Ivan Zufrost is a version of Damien that never met Batman until he was adulthood. He was completely raised and trained by the League.
Oh wow,
So
that's a little different. That's kind of getting into past territory.
But anyway, we'll actually talk about that in the continuity part of this stream. But
Dear is just really like, stay on topic, guys. Stay on topic.
That's on topic. But anyway, honestly, I'm cautiously optimistic. Cautiously because I've been very vocal. I'm not the biggest fan of what James Gunn did to DC, but I doubt he's going to essentially like make that. I very much doubt he's going to make DC like Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. I think mainly it's going to be like he's going to approve projects. He's going to say we're going to go in this direction, but he's not going to tell everyone make it a comedy joke fest where people are torn asunder unless it's appropriate to the character.
DC,
but also
animated movie.
Here's the thing also to remember about James Gunn. He did Brightburn.
Yes, that is true.
Here's and Jay.
Also, here's the thing. A lot of these movies are going to be PG-13. They're not going to do a rated R Man of Steel.
No, although that'd be cool.
Like all of their mass market movies are going to be PG-13. Obviously, there's going to be a few rated R movies, and that might get a little more James Gunny.
But I can name five on my whole hand DC rated R movie. Oh, thank you, Pika Shades. Thank you for clearing that up.
But actually, what's interesting, I got a great idea, and Nick, this would actually work. DC's movie written by James Gunn.
Okay,
that would work.
Oh, come on. You stole that from me.
No, you said deceased movie. You never said written by James Gunn. A deceased movie written by James Gunn.
I was thinking Justice League Dark movie written by James Gunn.
That is also a good one.
That is actually also solid, but deceased, because when you think about deceased, he can kill anyone he wants, and blood and gore up the yin-yang.
Oh, well, imagine once they get to doing the Blackest Night storyline.
You would have to set up Blackest Night.
No, that's going to be
in itself.
Let me put it this way: that's an entire cinematic universe to set that up properly.
Yeah, that's an Infinity War level storyline.
All this is what's required to set that up. But I'm happy James Gunn does approve. I am hoping he does approve that and give me Super Sun, of course.
A continuation of Superman the Animated Series.
No, because there was going to be a Superman family animated series, but it was canceled. It canceled before it went into production.
Huh?
What's the status of Cape Crusader?
It's being shopped around.
It's being shopped around.
I'm pretty sure Amazon's going to pick that one up. That project just screams Amazon.
If Rings of Power is anything to go by, they might as well cut their losses.
No, what I'm saying is because Amazon actually has really good superhero content. Plus, they had Invincible, which is already in the same wheelhouse as Cape Crusader. So Cape Crusader would really be, because there already is an audience that would love Cape Crusader on Amazon. Because Amazon and Invincible are similar levels of content, and it would make great sense to have them, because you got The Boys, you got Invincible, and Cape Crusader would work perfectly on that platform.
That works. And Tevia, honestly, now it's more. It's a little more likely, but so I could see because remember he's overseeing movies, TV, and animated. So I would restart tweeting "Renew Young Justice" or something like that. Just keep going like that.
I would argue Teen Titans 03 season 6 is more likely, just a short mini series. You already because
they've been teasing that for a long time.
They have,
dude.
But in Teen Titans 03, every season was a character arc in some shape or form. Mm-hmm. Season one was obviously Robin, his renegade storyline from the 90s. Mm-hmm. Season 2 was Judas Contract. Season 3 was Technus Imperative with Cyborg. Season 4 was Trigon the Terrible. Season 5 was technically the Brotherhood of Evil with the Doom Patrol.
Mhm.
And season 6 technically would have been a Starfire story, but they condensed it into With Trouble in Tokyo, or at least Trouble in Tokyo was kind of like an epilogue condensed
Man,
version.
we need to
Yeah,
talk
plus-
about Teen Titans sometime.
Plus,
Jeez.
honestly, with them bringing Tara back, I feel like they were kind of planning something.
So,
Because remember the last episode of Teen Titans?
I remember. Things change. I remember.
in other words, Tevia, I think the status of the Adventures. I'm Tevia. It's still in there. It's still
It's in
being
limbo.
made.
It's in limbo.
It's in limbo. We're probably not going to know that much until next week, because next week is his first day on the job. So we'll find out what projects are moving forward, what projects are not. So
I wouldn't be like, here's my prediction.
yeah, go ahead.
James Gunn is going to tweet out. So for my first order of business head as DC, I'm putting Superman back in the red trunks. As a troll, it's a troll thing.
No, you know what he does? There was an April.
He does it as a
Fool's
troll
joke.
job.
Yes, there was an April Fool's joke, a comic. I don't know if you remember this, Jay Heat, where they had this announcement that all the superheroes are going to get red trunks. That's what he'd do. That'd be hilarious. Troll.
I remember that. That was hilarious.
I could see him doing that on April 1st. I could see him actually.
Yeah.
Even better. He gets all the major people. They actually do a photo shoot with like Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, and like everyone, all the main people get together, and they're all wearing red trunks.
Yeah, that would work really well. And then,
oh my god, I could totally see them doing that.
And then he has Henry Cavill in black trunks because the black suit, just to mess with people. But anyway, I could definitely see that happening. But really, at this point, it's every reason to be like optimistic about DC. Because let me put it this way: what happened the past two? This has been quite an interesting 2 days. You got Henry Cavill back in this.
You could say it's been quite the cyclone.
Oh, that's not bad. It's not your best pun, but okay.
It was definitely a good bat week.
That's better.
Oh, come on.
I like that one. But
I guess you could say DC has really rocked it.
All right.
That's crossing the line.
So I think at that point, unless
I guess I'm not quite the enchantress I thought I was.
Unless you guys have anything
That's
that you
better.
want to, yeah, that's better. I think if you guys don't have anything else to say about James Gunn, we can move on to our continuity stream.
And any takers?
All right. So.
All right.
All right, so you may be wondering, Jared, what do you mean by continuity stream? So Jay Heat and I came up with the idea for this, and Nick tagged along. The idea is, of course, because he's a co-host. So we're going to discuss the DCAMU, the DCAMU, and maybe even a little comics continuity to try and explain what the hell the Omniverse is. And our thing is like, which is better, the DCAU or the DCAMU? And by the way, hey, Sean Franklin, what's up? So Sean, what do you think of James Gunn being the head of DC? While he talks about that, so first I'm going to ask you guys, which is better, DCAU or DCAMU? Me, it's DCAMU.
Nick?
Go ahead, Nick.
Since I grew up with it, the DCAU.
Okay. What about you, Jay?
I'm kind of in the middle. I grew up with DCAU. That'll always be a part of my heart, but I have seen some improvements with DCAMU. There were some flaws, like turning Damian Wayne into a Jason 2.0, but that's besides the point. Tevia knows more about that than I do.
Instead of bringing Red Hood.
You know, there was actually a throwaway line of referencing Jason and Hush, and that really made me mad.
Well,
Did you see the Choose Your? Did you ever watch the Choose Your Own Adventure DVD?
I have to like that.
Yeah, I watched
Or
it.
like there's actually storylines where Jason becomes Hush.
Mm-hmm. Is it still like Choose Your Own Adventure if you watch on HBO Max?
No, it's mostly just a recap of the original Under the Red Hood, but from Batman's perspective. If you want to choose your own adventure, you have to get the physical copy.
Okay, so I may have to get the physical copy because I definitely want to do that. And yeah, I like James Gunn too. I don't think this way. He's a comic fan based upon the lineup from his Suicide Squad. The dude knows comic books.
Yeah, like there's a lot of legitimate reasons to be concerned, but there's also a lot of legitimate reasons to be hopeful. And honestly, my ultimate thing is give him a chance. If he fails, we'll criticize him. If he succeeds, we'll praise him. I feel like there's really no. I'm leaning more towards being hopeful because I'm stuck at being black billed. I want to hope again.
And plus, let me put it this way: at the very least, just showing how we know it's not going to be as bad as before. The old regime is gone, like completely gone. So,
should we be burying it?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, Jay Heat. You brought up the Hush movie, so I really have to give you this.
Why did you say that name?
Because that Hush movie was a crime against comic book animated movies because of what they did to the Riddler.
And I get that. And
what did they do to the Riddler?
They made him Hush.
Spoiler. Dang
what?
You didn't give me the 5-second window. All right. To make a long story short, they pulled a Ryan Johnson. They completely subverted the film. Made constant C-list jokes about the Riddler. Threw a throwaway line about Jason as a bait and switch. And Hush is Hush is like the Long Halloween. It's a two-parter. If you're gonna accurately adapt Hush, you do a two-parter.
The twist of Hush was that the Riddler was the ringleader.
He was
the mastermind of it.
Yeah,
that does. Hush was Jason Todd. It's just they did the fake out where it's like off panel. Jason jumped away and then Clayface jumped in.
But they have Riddler actively be Hush from beginning the whole time. No Jason.
So where does Thomas Elliott play in all this?
He gets killed off.
Yeah, I know. That was my
Ryan Johnson directed this. It has to be.
Nick.
Surprisingly, no.
Nick, you literally had my exact reaction when I saw the ending because I had just read Hush and I'm like, wait a second. Because Hush is a fantastic storyline.
It's a beautiful story.
It's plus that Jim Lee art. Oh my gosh. If you ever want to see some top tier Batman art,
and this was right when he was getting ready to buy out Storm. Right, he was getting ready to merge over.
This was Jim Lee in his prime.
Oh my gosh! I've never seen more gorgeous Batman art, and I'm a fan of Fabok, but he's got nothing on that Jim Lee.
Jim Lee's work on Batman, All-Star Batman and Robin is almost as good.
It's good. The story is a little.
It really bogs it down. But
the art, like that 6-page fold out of the Batcave.
See, the problem with Jim Lee is as the 2000s goes on, his art kind of takes a noticeable note. Like my friend actually said it best. Like it's like now that he's like the top dog of DC, he doesn't have to try as hard.
I can see that.
My friend said this in like 2008.
Probably.
Like I remember,
and it still holds up.
So the reason why I like the DCAMU more. I mean, let me put it this way. I grew up on the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, so it's not like I don't have fond memories of that, but it's because I've said this many times that I came in on the new 52 era, and for the most part, these movies were actually pretty close to the new 52 storylines, especially Justice League War.
What I do like about DCAMU is before they did this initiative, all of their animated films were just like all over the place.
Standalone.
It was a continuity, and it was actually a solid continuity. I'm really surprised that it was actually really solid.
Even up to the point where they had the same voices come back. Like, for example, the guy who voiced Nightwing was the guy who played Simon Tam on Firefly.
Mm-hmm. That's who plays Nightwing?
Yes.
I knew that voice was familiar.
And actually, now that I hear it, he's actually is a really good like Nightwing voice.
And Rosario Dawson is Wonder Woman. I liked her as Wonder Woman. I think she was actually really good.
And they had my second favorite Batman voice in this.
Yeah, he was pretty solid. I mean,
Jason O'Mara.
In terms of animated, he's my number 2. Number 1 has to be Conroy. That's kind of required at this point.
Yeah, basically DC's like, all right, can we get Kevin Conroy? No, okay, then get him.
Because he had that dark Batman voice, but
his Bruce Wayne was a little lacking. Towards the end, he was able to find that balance, but
and let's not. But I will say, so watching these movies, and plus they had really bad ass moments, like when Superman is like eye beaming Darkseid's eyes, when he gouges his eyes and just like throwing them around like a rag doll. You took everything from me. I need that as a clip.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
I really like Batman Bad Blood because it's like both a Batwoman story, but also it does kind of Batman RIP a little bit where Dick Grayson is Batman.
Yeah,
I feel like
really
that's
well.
probably the best outing for Batwoman ever.
It
And-
completely butchered Grant Morrison's work, but I will give
True,
you that. That is
But
Batwoman's best.
how about Suicide Squad Hell to Pay actually connecting
Oh
to
my
Batman
God.
Flashpoint?
Oh my god!
I love that movie.
Is
So I
that
love
the movie where Harley Quinn has sex with Deadshot?
No,
And
that's the
and
Arkham
when-
verse, but that's a separate conversation.
That's a separate one. That's the one. That's the one where let's see what happens in that one. That's the one where they go to a strip club and to find Dr. Fate. Yeah, it's some dude with that was imbued with the spirit of Naboo.
Naboo.
Oh,
He was
yeah, I
really
think-
desperate that day.
Yeah, he was really getting desperate. But that's the one where one of the antagonists was Vandal Savage, but then it turns out it was actually the Reverse Flash, and he has a bullet hole in his head from when Flashpoint Batman shot him. Because what happened is that in Flashpoint he gets shot, but he vibrates his molecules to buy himself like a couple of minutes, and every time he uses his powers, that time gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And the objective of that movie is they have to get a get out of hell free card, which it's actually a card that if you die with this on you, you go straight to heaven. And Amanda Waller needs it because she has cancer.
Basically, in this subplot with Bronze Tiger.
Oh my gosh!
I hate the Deathstroke cameo because that was not a good Deathstroke. He did redeem himself by the time Judas Contract rolls around, but they did my boy Deathstroke dirty.
You know what makes me mad is they cast Michael Jai White as Bronze Tiger in the Arrowverse, and that makes me mad because now they won't cast him as Bronze Tiger in the regular one because Michael Jai White is perfect for Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, he is.
That's a solid casting.
That's solid, and that should be a no-brainer. But I think my favorite part is actually when they did the Superman Wonder Woman relationship. But my problem with that is that they had it end off screen. It's like all of a sudden in like Death of Superman, they're sparring, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we had our thing. It didn't work out." And I'm like, "You didn't at least see the breakup? What are you guys doing here? You started this. Bring it to a conclusion."
Yeah, and the DCAMU had tie-in comics for Suicide Squad, and I believe
And the Death of Superman.
DCAMU definitely could have made a profit if they went all in with tie-in comics.
Yeah, what I did love though, one of my favorite moments is that when Superman's back and he's fighting Cyborg Superman, and he's holding him up to the thing, and Lois brings out the opens up the shade essentially, and then sunlight hits him. Then all of a sudden he says, "Open your eyes," and then Clark opens them, and just he just blasts Cyborg Superman's arm off.
You're gonna watch, even if I have to tear open your eyelids.
Open them. It's so good. And honestly, here's the thing: the Death of Superman was actually pretty dope. That movie,
Definitely better than Doomsday.
Yeah. Do you know how he kills Doomsday in this movie, Nick?
How?
He flies in super speeds and hits Doomsday in the head so fast his head turns around.
I thought I could get my neck to.
So you're saying that he spinned his head right round like a wrecker baby.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much, actually. And then Doomsday had a spike, and he just stabbed Superman as he hit him.
In the abdomen.
Yeah. And honestly, that was actually really dope for of a movie. I really enjoyed that. And I liked the follow-up in the Reign of the Superman, because they made that story kind of tolerable, because if you read it, it goes all over the place, that comic.
It does, especially in the tie-ins. And let this be clear, DCAMU Superboy is Connor, not John. It's Connor.
Actually, not a bad version of Connor. I like where he keeps calling Lois Lane babe. I was like, oh god, this is
like. Does Connor realize that's essentially like his mother, his stepmother?
Yeah, kind of. It's really odd. I never saw the Constantine one. I want to do that.
You really need to. It's only 30 minutes, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I need to. But speaking of the end of the DCAMU, can we talk about Apocalypse War?
Can we talk about some of the Teen Titans stuff first?
All right, let's go do that. So Justice League versus Teen Titans.
And then and then we can use that to go into Judas Contract.
Yeah, that's fine. But
And-
that was actually one of my favorite movies because I really liked it because it's basically a Raven movie when you think about it.
Damian does hog a little bit, but they balance it out.
I will say it's in the timeline of the DCAMU. I really feel like by the time of Teen Titans, that's when Damian starts to become tolerable in my eyes. Like,
yeah,
it's especially by Judas Contract is by that time he goes Damian goes through a really big character arc in this movie. Like my favorite moment is like when he says, "I'm a Titan," and like I love like in the Judas Contract where he's talking to Nick, it's like Starfire is actually a really good leader. It's like you would have never heard Damian say stuff like that when he first came on the scene.
I love the dance off part between him and Beast Boy, and Beast Boy is like cheating because he has animal powers, but Robin still beats him.
And I'm not gonna lie, when the Scarab took over Jaime and Unibeamed him in the face, I died laughing.
Oh, by the way,
come on!
Can we give a shout out to the transformation sequence?
Oh yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
They paid tribute to Tokusatsu with that one. They did a Sentai transformation. They like Starfire is straight up cut with Sailor Moon. Like they did. It was basically a Tokusatsu tribute. Like all like the Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Blue Beetle was like a very Metal Heroes kind of transformation.
Yeah.
And like I said, Starfire is straight up magical girl.
Exactly.
Magical girl is the genre, but yeah.
I just want to address this one. Yeah, Cole, he is close friends with Zack, and they talk regularly. So now, when you think about it, it's even more likely that at least Zack could have a role, at least as a producer, if not a director.
Zack is back.
It's time. You could say it's time to get Zack-tivated. I need that as a thing I can put up here.
It's time to get Zack-tivated.
So yeah, it's more likely now, especially since Hamada's gone, for at least Zack to have some role in it, at least be a producer in a Justice League movie. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. I will say the one thing that we forgot to mention, the one movie that we forgot to mention that I really wanted, because this ties into Damian, how about that Court of Owls movie?
Yeah, that's good. That's hot shit.
That's actually okay. Quick nerd talk. The actual tension was based on a side story by Tomasi, Born to Kill, with nobody, and then that ties into another sub character in a later book. Tevia, you know what who I'm talking about.
But what I did like, I love hearing that Batman voice actor go, "Get out of my cave," and he's in like the
you're taking my city, you threatened my home, and worse, you hurt my kid.
Yeah, so I just love that.
Enjoy it.
And then you could get that really dope fight scene. It's just so cool. The Batman movies were actually really solid. How about that Batwing transformation that's basically out of Iron Man?
And also, seriously, when I saw that, I got the Iron Man theme from the 90s.
Go ahead, Nick. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was waiting for Jay Heat to finish.
Okay.
Also, that's a really good theme, by the way.
Thank you.
But like, speaking of Court of Owls, we were talking about like a Ben Affleck Batman with Court of Owls. The more I think about it, that actually would be the perfect way to bring back Dick Grayson. Because if he is supposed to be the one that's dead, having him be a Talon and having that be a plot point actually would be really good. And that way you could have a third act with him as Nightwing.
Because what you could do, he doesn't even have to fake his death. You could say Batman thought he was dead, but he was actually like really badly wounded, and the court like switched the bodies.
No, because I think what the court does with the bodies is they
preserve them and reanimate them.
No, but I know that. I'm just saying so Batman won't come looking for him. They still
no. What it is right after Dick Grayson died, they took the body, they reanimated it.
Oh, it actually resurrects them. Oh, okay, I see. So they could do that.
So basically, the Court of Owls movie is you basically do a combination Court of Owls under the Red Hood. Yeah. You take a lot of the under Red Hood storylines, but Dick Grayson's a Talon.
In other words, you spend half the movie having Batman fight this Talon, and he's like, he fights just like me, Alfred. And then all of a sudden, you have like a scene in Winter Soldier where the mask comes off, and he's like,
yeah,
it's Grayson.
And then you could have a scene where Batman's talking to Superman, and Superman tells the story of Nightwing and Flamebird, and he's like, I can't be Robin, I can't be Talon, what can I be? And like he unveils the Nightwing costume and says, my son.
Yeah, there you go. That works. So, but I will say I like this. The DCAMU, I think, had a pretty solid like depiction of Nightwing, like in like Justice League versus Teen Titans. I love where he's driving Damian to like to the tower. And he goes, "They're teenagers. Worse."
Don't
also,
tell me Damian Wayne is afraid of a little socializing.
Also, they made in DCAMU my favorite ship is canon, Nightfire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that worked out.
They're actually, and it actually makes like the sex jokes between them like actually a little more palatable because they're in a relationship. I mean, come on, they're in a committed relationship.
My favorite is when they're training and Starfire goes, he's very capable when we're and he's like, Corey.
or no, my favorite scene is when they're video chatting and she just got out of the shower and Dick Grayson's like, yeah. And the best part is she doesn't realize she's doing it. Like,
yeah. And
Dick Grayson's like, Starfire, maybe we could. And then
we could have fun. The old place looks great. Maybe we could just.
My favorite. No.
Yeah, I need to finish the joke.
Okay.
And then I think then she gets called off, and you can just see the disappointment in his face.
No, you could see the literal blue balls.
Yeah, literal. So
see, that is how you do adult comedy in a PG setting.
Yeah, exactly. What I loved, he and at that point in the timeline, he was wearing a blue suit. So anyway, what I did like,
so he had blue wings.
Oh, that's good. I like that, Nick. So one of my favorite scenes of Dick and Corey is when it's a flashback scene to when they first met, and she like kisses him to learn English, and she goes, "My kind learns languages by kissing," and then Dick goes, "Handy," and then like useful. Wally's like, "Okay, I took like second year high school French." All the dudes are raising their hands.
Can I just say what I love about that scene is it perfectly illustrates why like they had like this instant attraction. Like it perfectly kind of like gives you backstory of why they got together. Like right from the very first moment they had that spark.
Mm-hmm. And Tavia brings up, I was annoyed they butchered the Court of the Owl storyline and didn't even rush to and didn't even do the maze.
Yeah, they did skip over it technically.
But there's not. But here's the thing. I mean. Yeah, true. But the thing is, with a lot of the, they don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time in most of these movies, they're lucky if they get an hour and a half.
Yeah, most of them like an hour and a half. So they don't have a lot of time to do this. So they have to like. Yeah, go ahead.
I will admit the hallucination scene. It was a direct reference to Batman 666. So that was a nice touch.
Yeah, I like that. Now. What I also did like that I agree with that Deathstroke was not the best depiction until we got to the Judas contract. And speaking of Judas contract, now we're going to talk about the movie that Nick really wanted to talk about. So it's kind of funny is they definitely succeeded in making Tara's attraction to Slade creepy, and even Slade's like, okay, this is creepy.
I mean, to be fair, that's what it was always supposed to be. Like, if you go back and read the original storyline, which I have, of course, it was honestly, it was even more creepy because, like, she was wearing a lot of adult clothes then, and also it was implied that Slade was having sex with her.
Also, this excluding Lincoln Marsh as Thomas Wayne Jr., aka Batman's brother, was also frustrating.
That's the second act in the Court of Owls trilogy. So that's not part of the first conflict, but fair point.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And the writer of Judas Contract, Perez, I don't know if it was both of them. I don't know if it was Perez or the other one, but they openly admitted that the Slade and Tara pairing was a commentary on the sleaze, for lack of a better term, of younger girls fraternizing with older guys to get their way. So it was a direct meta commentary.
There's more to it than that. So basically, Tara was a result of. Okay, so New Teen Titans, especially that run, is actually like a passion of mine. Like that's a favorite thing. Mark Wolfman was a writer, by the way.
Okay.
So back then, New Teen Titans was the #1 book for DC, and X-Men was the #1 book, and they were getting compared as ripoffs. And Chris Claremont actually dispelled it. So on the creative side, there was no like bad. Like they even did a crossover issue once. There's X-Men meets the Teen Titans, by the way.
I remember that.
So basically, what Marvel and so around this time they introduced Kitty Pryde into the X-Men, and so what Marv Wolfman wanted to do was introduce a Kitty Pryde of his own, but subvert the idea. And so basically, Tara is a bastardization of. So Kitty Pryde is sweet, innocent, and
the antithesis of Kitty Pryde. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Basically, that's the whole idea of Tara. Is she's supposed to be the antithesis of Kitty Pryde.
That's really cool. I like that. Tevia brings up, shame that they killed off the heretic in Batman Bad Blood. You see, here's my problem with Batman Bad Blood is, okay, so the arc of Talia takes such an extreme turn where she doesn't even care about Damian anymore. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
And they try to play it like it was she went mad from her dip in the Lazarus. And it's also more frustrating when you take into account Heretic's role in Damian's arc in the Grant Morrison run. Damian was technically supposed to die in that fight.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one where he dies and then Batman takes him to Apocalypse to like revive him in the Hellbat suit? Yes.
Yeah.
Also, wasn't Damian being groomed by Ra's al Ghul to be a successor?
Yeah.
Technically, it was more of a vessel for his resurrection since he couldn't, after the Iron Maiden, it was the Return of Ra's al Ghul story. Like that. Basically, the Grant Morrison was a saga in of itself, an overarching trilogy over the course of about 5 years.
That's awesome. I need to get the Omnibuy because they have at my LCS. I need to buy those. But yeah, it's just here's the thing: is that even before she takes a dip in the Lazarus pit, she's still nuts. So I'm like, you guys butchered this. I will say, speaking of great voice actors, I loved who played Catwoman in Hush.
That was a good cast.
That was, she sounded like Catwoman. That was fantastic.
All right, I need to look this up.
Yeah, and I liked Kate Kane in actually Bad Blood, and I liked the twist of like Talia controlling Batman. That was actually really clever. I enjoyed that.
Oh, it was Jennifer Morrison. Who played her. Yeah, she's done House, Once Upon a Time. She was Riona. Oh, she was Kirk's wife in the Star Trek. I'm looking at her IMDb.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've seen her.
So let me ask you guys this: what's your favorite DCAMU movie? And then we'll talk about DCAU. Mine is
Teen Titans versus the Justice League.
Yeah, that's solid. Mine is any of the Justice League movies, but mostly Apocalypse War because first off, it's R-rated, and then you have Batman Superman kicking Darkseid's ass, and then you have Darkseid versus Trigon. By the way, PK says no. Damian's remains were stolen to Apocalypse, and Batman followed with the intentions of only bringing his remains back. Damian was brought back to life only because the circumstance allowed it. Oh, okay. I appreciate you correcting that.
I have a question. I have a question for you guys. Who is your favorite Catwoman voice actress?
The one who did it in Hush.
Mine is Grey Deloise, who did it in the Injustice movies.
Actually,
wait.
Injustice movies.
Wait,
Injustice games. The game.
Say.
Actually, yeah,
Sorry.
Not that bad. I don't think.
She does. But oh, by the way, Jared. She's also the voice of Azula. So
I'll admit she's a good cast, and she was masterful as Azula.
Jared, can we announce it
at the end of the stream?
Okay,
but
Jared's like, what's going on?
We do have something very special to tease at the end of the stream. So anyway. Yeah, I dug her as Catwoman. I also dug the girl that played her in the Injustice movie. That was one of the saving graces of that movie, even though the rest of it was like, eh. But yeah, my favorite is probably Apocalypse War. Jay Heat, what about you?
My favorite DCAMU movie, oh god, it's close, but I would have to say Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay.
Yeah,
my
that
top
was
three.
Badass.
Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay, Apocalypse War, and Justice League versus Teen Titans.
My
Those are
top 3 is Apocalypse War, Throne of Atlantis, because that was badass, and it had a fantastic soundtrack and all
Do
that.
you want to know some trivia?
Sure.
The woman who voiced Catwoman in the Injustice movie, her name is Anika Nani Rose. It's Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Oh. And my third one is Justice League War, because I love that scene where Darkseid goes, "I am Darkseid," and Superman goes, "I don't care," and then Green Lantern goes, "Kick his ass." That had the same energy. That had the same energy of the Superman not impressed one from the Snyder Cut.
So speaking of,
real quick, and someone actually rescored that scene on YouTube with the not impressed music. So I'm sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Speaking of Batman and Green Lantern, can we talk about one of the greatest Batman moments ever?
Oh yes, my favorite moment.
So wait. Are you saying that you have no powers and then he instantly gets out of his Green Lantern suit because Batman has swiped the ring off his finger?
What does this do?
The way it goes is Batman Green Lantern's asking Batman, "Okay, so can you fly? No. Super strength? No. Wait, you're not just some dude in a bat suit, are you?" And he just smiles.
And then he holds up the Green Lantern. He smiles.
He goes, "How'd you do that?" It appears to work on concentration. Yeah, we were concentrating. And I love where he's
you won't do that again unless I want.
He's like, I'm tracking Superman's flight path. How are you doing that on a satellite? I was only kidding. You have a satellite that had the same energy.
But Justice League does it better. You have a satellite? Actually, I have 2.
No, he goes, "I have 6.
6.
Yeah, I was about to say it has that exact same, exactly the scene I was thinking of when I saw that scene in the Snyder.
You know what would have made that even better if you said, "I used to have 7." Like, no. I would just loved it if Superman was there. He's like, "I used to have 7," and then looks over at Clark.
He goes, "Blame Zod," but he's the one who threw me into that satellite. But anyway,
no. Superman. That's exactly what Superman says. Blame Zod.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, I wish the DCAMU had been allowed to continue, or at least been a little more better taken care of. But I will say one of the coolest parts of Apocalypse War was when we saw the female Furies, and it's basically the Justice League as cyborgs. And like Martian Manhunter is like a dragon, Mera is like a sea snake. Hawkman
it's like Medusa, technically.
Yeah, it's like Medusa. Yeah, exactly.
But
well, the actress who plays Mera is quite the harpy.
And I will say,
"Hey, what's up, Maeve?"
Hey, but I did have one genuine gripe with DCAMU more than anything, and it was Damie Ray, if you want to call it that. I just the actors had chemistry. Don't get me wrong, but
Damien Raven, yeah,
I just felt like them getting together right at the last film. It was a little forced.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were kind of setting it up right from their first meeting. Like there was kind of that little spark from Justice League versus Teen Titans. Like there was that little...
to an extent. But I just don't. If it weren't for literally the world getting taken out, the apocalypse, I don't think Damian would have gotten this. I don't think Damian genuinely would have pursued Raven and made a move under normal circumstances.
And Maeve, real quick, since you're new here, what's your opinions on James Gunn being the new head of DC films? And Nick, you had something you want to say?
I mean, I already said it.
So. All right, so now we're going to get to the DCAU. This is what got me into DC. Like, I remember full on, my first time I ever saw it was the Justice League Unlimited episode, The Return, with the Amazo android returning. And then you see that image where Jon Stewart's like, "Light him up!" And then the League just unleashes holy hell on Amazo. Yes, he's essentially... Actually, you know what's kind of funny? He's one half of DC's Kevin Feige, because we also have the other guy who's doing the producing thing.
So, question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kevin Feige said never say never to a DC Marvel crossover.
Actually, you know what? Let's talk about that real quick, because James Gunn
Avengers versus X-Men.
No, Avengers versus... No, can you imagine? Actually... What if the crossover is not a fighting thing? It's them teaming up. They start off fighting. Because can you imagine Henry Cavill's Superman holding the hammer of Thor?
In Captain America's shield.
Captain America's shield, recreating that moment.
Oh no, and then Wonder Woman wields Mjolnir as well.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Thor
actually,
like
that's more-
supercharges her with lightning. That because actually, a DC versus Marvel crossover movie is way more
All right,
likely now.
Who would be the villain? So obviously, Darkseid would probably be the villain on the DC side, but who would be the villain on the Marvel side? I would say Thanos, but he's currently busy being dead.
They have Galactus.
Kane the Conqueror.
They have Galactus crosses over into the DC universe.
Galactus is too overpowered. I would definitely.
Maeve agrees with us.
I'd honestly say, well, Galactus is powerful. There's a lot of beings in the DC universe that could eat.
Well,
Galactus
that's
alive.
true because we are dealing with a universe where everyone has god powers. So that's true.
Like you don't think Galactus could kill? I mean, Darkseid could kill Galactus if he wanted to
easily, and that's what's kind of funny. Whenever anyone brings up, Darkseid v Thanos, Darkseid, because you cannot kill Darkseid. You literally cannot kill Darkseid.
Also, but what if Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet?
Doesn't matter.
No, because here's the thing: if you kill Darkseid's main form, he becomes true form Darkseid, and that is still invincible. Like
here's how the fight goes.
Yeah,
he's like, I am inevitable. Before he can snap, he does the Omega beams. It kills Darkseid, and the Infinity Gauntlet falls to the ground, and now Darkseid has the Infinity Gauntlet.
And that's a scary thought right there. But
by the way, what's also been shown, Infinity Gauntlets only work in their universe of origin.
Yeah.
So if Thanos is in the DC universe,
it's not going to work.
Tries to snap his fingers, and it doesn't work.
Actually, you know what they could do? Here's what they. What is the DC universe of video game?
DC Universe Online?
Yeah.
Really underrated game, by the way.
I play that game. It's super fun. It's really fun. But
yeah.
I fell off, but I could easily go back to it.
It's so much fun.
If
could do
PC?
Is it a crossplay?
What?
I think all of us could probably play it on PC though, because it's low spec.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they could do is they could have Darkseid invade the Marvel universe, and like the first 10 minutes is him just murking Marvel heroes, and then Doctor Strange opens the portal to the DC universe, and the Justice League comes through.
Also, a few other things. I want to see Green Lantern. I mean, I want to see the Hulk get a Red Lantern ring.
Oh yeah, that has to happen. Can you imagine that, dude?
World Breaker Hulk on a galactic side.
That's what turns Bruce Banner back into badass Hulk, is that he gets mad a little bit, but the ring supercharges it and he turns into World Breaker Hulk.
Okay. Here's a good discussion. What elements of Marvel or DC that could cross over would make for really great stories? Like for example, how I mentioned the Hulk getting a Red Lantern ring. What other sorts of pollination would make for really good stories in your guys' opinion?
That the obvious answer is Darkseid with the Infinity Gauntlet. And it works in this universe. It would have to actually work, obviously.
Well, if he gets it in the Marvel universe, then yeah.
Green Lantern with the power cosmic.
Ooh.
Can you imagine that, dude? I mean, I had an idea, but you guys probably won't like it. Drop it in the thing. Drop it.
Oh, Daredevil. Okay, what ring would Daredevil have? Because he's the man without fear. Hope. So would he be yellow or green?
Hope. He's got to be Hope.
No, I don't think.
Or green,
no, he wouldn't be
because willpower is overcoming fear. He cannot. I don't see him. Really
I don't see Daredevil with a yellow lantern. I don't see it.
I do think Daredevil probably would be Will, because he is willpower. I don't see Daredevil as Hope.
Plus, if he's the man without fear, that's willpower. That's willpower. And by Maeve, drop your idea. We would love to hear it. I'm sure Nick won't be an a-hole. If he is, we'll just remove him. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Wait, bring it on.
Bring it on. We'd love to hear it. But trust me,
watch her suggestion be get rid of Nick right now. Watch her be that.
Well, here's the thing, Maeve. I had an idea, but you guys probably won't like it. Describes every idea Nick came up with. Actually, no. You were actually pretty good this stream. You had some pretty dope ideas. But anyway, so I could see Wolverine with a Red Lantern ring.
Oh, that's a default, man. Come on.
That's a default. Or Galactus with a big ass fear ring.
Oh, imagine Dr. Manhattan and Dark Phoenix meeting.
Wait, I got it. Galactus with a Black Lantern ring.
I could see it.
Mhm.
No, Ghost Rider with a Black Knight ring. Okay, that's it. That's the
Okay,
idea.
you know what, Nick? You deserve this one. Yeah, because dude, that is a solid.
Oh, Spider-Man is either a blue or a green. But I
I
say
could
Blue
definitely see
Lantern.
Spider-Man as Hope. I could definitely.
No, I got it. Galactus is an Orange Lantern.
Mine.
He's naturally. I mean, he's not even greedy. He's just,
So it's Eclipso versus Kane the Conqueror and all the DC Marvel characters. And all of them,
not too bad. Not too bad.
What do you mean? You said we probably won't like it. That's actually a good idea. What are you talking about? That's actually an excellent idea. I like that because that could work really well.
Okay, I got one. Black Adam versus Scarlet Witch.
Ooh, Dr. Fate versus Doctor Strange. It would be like we do an amalgam thing of Doctor Strange Fate.
Hawkeye versus Green Arrow. The Green Arrow would probably win.
Green Arrow probably wins on that one.
Also, Flash is objectively infinitely faster than Quicksilver.
Because
it's not even a contest.
I've never heard of Quicksilver running so fast he goes back in time. Ooh, Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. Probably Zatanna, I would say.
Ooh.
Wait.
Okay,
No. I'm gonna say this idea. You guys are gonna love it.
Okay.
A 4-part crossover comic. Constantine and Doctor Strange.
Oh, that.
It's just it's a team up comic. They may fight originally, but they're teaming up and they're just trying to outsass each other while trying to solve the conflict.
Wait,
okay,
I would keep that comic, but with Tony Stark in the mix. not even for the sake of magic, just for the clashing of egos.
Oh, by the way, so it's official. We're gonna do a full stream on this topic alone because this is dope. But we're gonna continue talking about this because it's fun.
Okay.
I would probably do. Let's see. We could also have would be an interesting team up. Oh wait, Red Hood and Venom. Red Hood becomes Venom. Ooh.
No, Red Hood.
Winter Soldier.
No, I have an idea. The Punisher ends up in Gotham, and basically Red Hood is the one who's he like they fight at first, but then they start teaming up.
Yeah,
Damian Wayne versus Dakin.
Oh, there you go.
That's a Super Sons fight.
Yeah, there you go. May brings up, or how about Lucifer Constantine?
Robin and Superboy versus Dakin and Scar.
Oh boy, I still say Superboy because Superboy is at least half Kryptonian. Or how about Lucifer Constantine's antenna and Scarlet Witch on the same room? That would be a real coven of chaos. Am I right? Oh yes.
Arguably,
Blue Beetle versus Spider-Man.
Blue Beetle versus Iron Man too. You could do that actually pretty well. But yeah, Blue Beetle versus Spider-Man is actually the best.
Which Blue Beetle though?
I mean, Jaime Reyes.
Here's a battle that I already know the way this would go is Captain Marvel versus Wonder Woman, and that would ultimately go to Captain Marvel because Wonder Woman's a better fighter and she's super fast actually.
But I feel like Captain Marvel might have the edge power wise.
Carol's too cocky.
So Wonder Woman would exploit that.
Yeah, would stomp her head.
But binary. I'm sorry. But like binary form, Captain
I can
Marvel,
see binary, but
I'm sorry. I hate Captain Marvel plus the rest of them. But like,
But Wonder Woman killed the God of War.
Now binary will put up more of a fight. Let's all agree.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Superman, Captain Marvel, and then Wonder Woman is just below that. Like Captain Marvel is kind of between Superman and Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And it's proven. Like, Wonder Woman can take a hit from Superman, and she might be able to land a few blows, but she objectively cannot defeat Superman.
Dream Girl versus Black Widow. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas. It's fine. We all are. But we could do Black Widow versus Black Canary.
Carnage versus the Joker.
Oh, no. Carnage infects the Joker. Wait, no. That's the DC versus Marvel threat. It's Carnage on the Joker because you have a Carnageized Joker, dude. And then you know who fights him? Venom, Batman.
Agent. Oh no.
Venom Batman and Anti-Venom Wolverine.
And Agent Venom Red Hood. Dude, we should, Marvel, please hire us to write these comics because these would sell up the yin yang. Can you imagine?
And then Iron Man gets an nth metal suit.
Oh hell yeah! Batgirl versus She-Hulk. If it's the MCU She-Hulk, I gotta give this to Batgirl. Honestly.
Angel. Wait, no, Archangel. Hawkman.
Hawkman. It's got to be Hawkman, but I see what you're doing there. It's got to be Hawkman.
No, Archangel. Like if it's regular Angel, yes, Hawkman. But Archangel was literally the avatar of death for
Apocalypse.
As much as I love Hawkman, I gotta say, yeah, with that new information,
Archangel would come out on top.
Wait,
but I say it could go either way at that point.
It's a close fight.
Fights Darkseid
because Hawkman's mace could dent the apocalypse, the metal
armor.
But it would be a more even fight.
Cyclone versus Storm. I would say Storm.
You know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning?
And what happens to everything else.
I'm sorry, but Storm is an Omega level mutant.
Yeah, all right, see a PK. Now let me ask you this: Superman versus Thor, who wins? And it's a question for you too, Maeve.
Superman, but with effort.
Yeah,
it would be effort, but I still say Superman, even though it's magic. It's like Superman again. All these heroes have close to super speed. Yes,
Black Panther versus Vixen.
Vixen, because she can imitate more animals.
I'd say Black Panther because he does have the vibranium armor.
Oh, actually, that's true. And vibranium is like ridiculously strong.
Also, I think Black Panther is probably the better fighter.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hop in, but Thor stuff. Okay, so how?
Here's my line of logic why that isn't because Superman has fought Black Adam multiple times, and Black Adam's lightning is magical in nature, and also, it's hurt him. Like it's hurt. Black Adam's lightning has hurt Superman. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't. But he's also been able to defeat Black Adam multiple times.
It won't incapacitate him. It'll
hurt him, but it won't incapacitate him. And plus, again, Thor's a little cocky. And here's the thing: if Thor tries to throw the hammer, Superman can get back and punch Thor in the face before the hammer reaches him,
and grab the hammer and bash his head in.
And grab the camera and bash his head in with it. So. Really, at this point, because most of these DC, that's why I still say Wonder Woman would destroy Captain Marvel, is because Wonder Woman's also fast.
Fight. No one's denying that.
Okay, I got one for you. Deathstroke versus Deadpool.
Oh,
Deathstroke because
actually,
it'd be an entertaining fight.
Legendary.
But by the way, maybe because Thor's hammer is made of magic, right? I don't know. I don't really watch Marvel. Yeah, it's made of magic, but here's the thing: Superman is not as weak to magic as people think he is.
No. What it is he's not weak against magic. He just has no resistances against it.
It's like that's one of the things that affects him. He's not. It's not like kryptonite where it'll actively kill him.
So if Thor literally smacks Superman with his hammer, Superman's going to go flying, and his jaw might be hurt, and he might bleed. You know, if Superman's having an off day, basically, if you want to do if they face 10 times kind of argument. Thor would win maybe 3 times out of the 10.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
And Storm also defeated Wonder Woman. That was the biggest disappointment because there's no way that Storm beats Wonder Woman.
Storm is an Omega level. Storm is an Omega level mutant.
But the way she's blasted Wonder Woman with lightning. Wonder Woman is the daughter of Zeus.
That part I will agree with you on.
That would just knock her back a bit.
But power wise. Storm is more powerful than Wonder Woman. Storm is literally on the same level power-wise as people like Charles Xavier and Magneto. Like
Wonder
he is Omega.
A hell of a fight, but it wouldn't be no simple strike of lightning. Wonder Woman.
It
would be more that Storm would literally conjure a Category 5 hurricane and whip her about until she died.
But Wonder Woman has flown through hurricanes. That's what you're not concerned because, yeah, Storm is strong, but Wonder Woman is a demigod.
But the thing is, effectively, Storm is as well.
True.
Omega level mutant is like there's Beyond Omega, which is really Omega level mutants are basically Earth busters. They're Earth level, maybe multi-planetary.
Okay,
the
Titans, Teen Titans, and Young Justice versus all of the X-Men.
And by the way, Maeve has a really good one. Supergirl versus Captain Carter. And the reason why I say that is because Captain Carter have his face. I'm just guessing, but I'm thinking she took on bigger threats. Yeah, but here's the thing. She throws that shield at Supergirl, and it's basically going to do this. I have a perfect example. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
Now, Power Girl versus Captain Carter.
Yep. Oh, so Wonder Woman stomps.
Oh, Power Girl would win. Power Girl could literally it's like because the shield is not indestructible. She it might take a few hits, but Power Girl could destroy the shield.
And by the way, Hot Takes has my back here. Wonder Woman stomps Storm. Yeah, there you go. She may be powerful, and Wonder Woman has fought things more powerful than she's fought Darkseid and stabbed his eyes out. So there is that. And by the way, yeah, again, so in conclusion, it wouldn't really be a fight. I get what I guess she's fought here's a good one. Oh, right, a morning stream for me before I have to work. Awesome. Hey, Man of Steel V2. He's another Brit. But one punch by Wonder Woman kills Storm. She just has to land one punch because Storm still takes the amount of damage. Storm is not invulnerable. And by the way, Maeve has a good one. Harley Quinn v Domino.
There's actually a superpower beatdown.
That'd be a better matchup.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a superpower beatdown episode where they do that in live action, and it's actually pretty good. It's Joker and Harley Quinn versus Deadpool and Domino.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty good.
I have to say, in this case, I'll have to go with. Are we talking about movie Domino with the luck powers? But I'm gonna have to go with Harley Quinn on this one because Harley Quinn is crazy enough to think of some ridiculous way to get out of that. She's like Batman.
Oh, the problem is Domino's luck manipulation powers, and plus Domino thinks is level headed enough to think well in a Domino all the way.
More.
Aquaman because I'm assuming he has a trident of Atlan's trident.
Yeah, the Domino wins, and Aquaman because. All he would have to do is use Mera as bait because you know how Namor is always trying to seduce other women, and then while he's trying to seduce Mera, Aquaman just comes up behind him and stabs him through the back with the trident. He uses Namor's own vanity against him. Here's one: Captain America versus Batman.
Ooh.
They actually did that in the comics, and they
depending on your factoring prep time.
I mean, there's not really much prep time that Batman could have that would give him an edge over Captain America.
It's really
super
just
soldier, superhuman strength. I mean, he does have similar feats.
But Batman, the reason why I say Batman is because
okay.
No, I'm saying Batman because again, Batman has fought and defeated Deathstroke. By the way, Crime Corgi says Gunn asked Snyder for stunt recommendations. Gunn and Snyder both work on Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, he literally he can. If anything, this makes him more likely Zack comes back. By the way, Thor v Wonder Woman is the Marvel DC matchup that's tricky. I think you get a 50-50. Not really, no, because Thor is not as fast as Wonder Woman. Again, he throws the hammer, she dodges it, and just speeds over to him and just punches him in the face a couple of times while the hammer's coming. And then she grabs it and just bashes his head in because we know she's worthy.
Hulk versus Atrocitus. I don't know why I didn't think of this one sooner.
That would be quite. Oh, wait. First, Billy Maximoff versus Mother. I say the Mother because the Mother's strong enough. Yeah. So Wonder Woman's strong enough to fight Darkseid, but not to defeat Superman. I never said she's not strong enough to defeat.
Depending
Superman.
on the version. Depending on the version.
I got one. Lobo gets a contract to hunt down the Silver Surfer.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. I would definitely read that book.
Lobo versus Wolverine, or is that one outdated?
Wolverine would win.
Wolverine would win. I gotta give you that one.
Well, he would win the fight, but then Lobo would just regenerate himself.
It's the same. It would be like an infinite fight. It's kind of like what I'd imagine Deathstroke. Well, actually, if it were Deathstroke versus Deadpool, here's how I'd imagine that would happen. Deathstroke would win the fight and then just stick Deadpool's head in a jar as a trophy, but then eventually return it because Deadpool's annoying him.
Oh, so I got another miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Peter Parker gets an assignment to go to Metropolis to check out some stuff because apparently Oscorp is entering negotiations for a joint partnership with LexCorp.
Mhm.
And so Spider-Man goes to Metropolis, and he sees some crime, and he suits up as Spider-Man to fight it. Superman flies in, and he thinks Spider-Man's a baddie. They fight for 5 minutes, and basically they're like, "Hey, why are we fighting?"
And they become
And
best
so
friends.
No, not only
Daredevil
that.
versus Nightwing.
Who fights Nightwing?
Daredevil.
Oh, geez. I would say Nightwing because Nightwing's been trained by Batman.
But
It's a close fight.
Daredevil's been trained by people by
hand.
the hand.
True.
Also,
a close
Daredevil literally has superhuman ability.
Yeah, I honestly, on that point, I have to give it to Daredevil.
Especially depending on the situation, because like the only thing that I could see
That is a fight.
no, it's a marksmanship competition.
And here's the thing: they're too evenly matched when they shoot at each other. They just shoot their bullets out of the air.
No, it's they keep shooting each other, and the bullets keep meeting in midair. So you got like 50 bullets that just like fuse together.
Yeah, 1-on-1 because he's a super soldier. Cap
would just overpower him.
Batman would have to use his tech and be more of a stealth fight. Yeah, and by the way, so someone said Batman faces tougher opponents like Deathstroke. He can.
It would be a very close fight.
Very close, and then Daredevil wins. By the way,
Deathstroke versus Captain America.
Here's the thing: hot takes. It's
Deathstroke versus Taskmaster.
By the way, hot takes. All it means is that he's gonna be able to bring in more creatives like Zack Snyder. It's not necessarily mean that the entire DCEU is going to turn into him. Oh, by the way,
here's the thing about Taskmaster. The way you beat him is you got to realize he's copying your moves. So you got to be smart enough to change up your moves on the fly. The only people who could do that would be Captain America. Batman would realize it in the fight, and Deathstroke would realize that as well.
Deadpool too.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Maeve, that exact scenario was in a Dark Multiverse book because you read The Batman Who Laughs. In that book, the Batman Who Laughs is like capturing Bruce Wayne's from across the Dark Multiverse and bringing them into our reality to like get DNA and stuff. One of the ones he brings in is if Batman was a Talon.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul versus what's a good one? Ra's al Ghul by himself.
League of Shadows versus the Hand.
Thank you.
League of Shadows. I got to get that to League of Shadows because they're immortal. Now let's see what's another good one because I know I had a really good one that I wanted to see. No! I got the best one. What?
Amanda Waller versus Nick Fury.
Oh.
No, it's a bureaucratic battle.
Oh
No, they're definitely.
So basically, Shield and Argus are both government agencies, and they're basically
I'm pretty
competing.
sure they would go to a
who
very
could do
legal
things the
resolution.
most dysfunctionally because they're in the government? Oh, Scarlet Witch versus Raven.
Scarlet Witch. Depends on whether they were demon powers, but even then.
And he agrees with me, and Amanda would probably be. I kind of agree on that one. It'd be Amanda Waller.
I don't
zone, but
here's the thing.
No, this is a bureaucratic battle. I think it's a little evenly matched, I'd say.
It's got to be Argus because here's the thing. Amanda Waller does not have as many safeguards on his actions that Nick Fury does because she just does whatever she wants because everyone's afraid of Amanda Waller.
That would be the deciding factor. Like ability wise, they're both very, very good at what they do. But the problem is Nick Fury is ultimately a good person. He wants to do the right thing. Amanda Waller has no morals. I'd actually say she's an amoral character.
I got Lady Shiva or versus Black Widow.
Shiva. I would have that. By the way, Dr. Doom versus Lex Luthor, the battle of egos. That'd be good.
Dr. Doom. See, here's the thing. Dr. Doom is actually a head of state. He has diplomatic immunity.
And Maeve, League of Shadows versus Black Widow. I know that's really stupid to say, but I would say
no.
It's still not stupid to say.
It's
but
just
Captain Adam.
But no.
Wait.
Maeve has Captain Adam versus Ant-Man.
Sentry versus Captain. It's got to be Sentry. Because if that suit is breached, he's dead. By the way, Trigon versus Galactus.
Trigon, because Trigon is literally an extra dimensional being.
Trigon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is like
a better battle.
Doomsday versus Hulk. Worldbreaker.
Hulk would win because
Hulk would
Superman.
win, but I'm like, because the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. But still,
Dude, but
like,
I got one for you.
hell of a fight.
Trigon versus Mephisto.
No, they would team up.
they would team up probably.
They would team up.
Oh, Doctor Doom versus Black Adam, Tyrant versus Despot. That would be an interesting battle. I could see. It's a good one. Shazam versus Thor.
Thor.
I say Thor
because Thor has more experience.
Yeah, he's not ultimately a kid at heart, and kids are impulsive, as we know, being former kids. Let's see.
I got one for you. Mary Marvel versus Captain Marvel.
No, I got a better one for you, Nick. You ready? Shazam versus Captain Marvel, battle for the mantle.
No, the reason I say this is because Mary Marvel is an adult. You know.
Yeah,
I'm going off of movie law. I'm going off of movies, by the way.
And by the way, Crime Corgi agrees with us. By the way, Maeve says Black Adam versus Supergirl. So CW show would blow to smithereens. I think.
Yeah, that would be straight up. That'd be straight up murder.
Yeah,
because particularly if it's the DCEU, Black Adam, who they built up as like the most powerful being on the universe.
Oh, I got one for you.
And yeah, Shazam wins. Yeah, what's up?
Man of Steel Zod versus MCU Thanos.
Ooh. Does he have the gauntlet though? Because that's the main question here.
Infinity War Thanos, I could see that being a decent fight, but with the gauntlet,
Doom Patrol v X-Men.
That's not much of a fight.
X-Men, because the X-Men have like god-like powers. So I gotta.
It depends on the lineup, to be honest.
All they do is call him the Phoenix. It's done. And by
the Phoenix is usually not available, honestly.
Right? No, I was just joking. I was just saying blow it up to smithereens, and I'm like, I don't like that show. Oh yes, that's true. Yeah, it would. It
derailed halfway through.
Well, let me put it this way, Maeve. Same result, because I would love it if the end of the show is like Black Adam shows up and just kills everyone. That'd be great.
Emma Frost versus Martian Manhunter.
Emma Frost, she just freezes them.
But if
Emma Frost can't freeze.
Battle. Mentally freeze.
No, Martian Manhunter is psychic as well.
Yeah, in a pure psychic battle, it could go either way.
It could go either way, honestly, but any actual hit that should, because I did a similar versus on the show.
Martian Manhunter can go intangible, by the way.
True, that is a thing. By the way, I would say honestly, Martian Manhunter in that case, because
anytime she tried to hit him, he'd just go intangible.
He can go intangible and just fly her into space.
Better fight: Martian Manhunter versus Vision.
Martian Manhunter still.
Cyclops. What would be a good matchup with Cyclops?
A therapist.
A marriage counselor. By the way, Reverse Flash versus Kang. I give this to Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Dawn
would play dirty.
So now, okay. So now we're bringing in outside people. Okay, that door's been open.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, also, I'm an artist and I'm working my own comic book with my friend just put it out there. Yep, me too. And Nick, actually, you know what? We might as well just bring up Screecher. Nick is a comic book creator. And by Nick and I are both working on our own projects. If you want, add me on Twitter and we can talk about it. And
same here.
Actually, if you want to come on either of our shows to promote your book, you're more than welcome to have on. And by the way,
I definitely respect the hustle, but hey,
Penance there on Spawn would obliterate him.
Yeah. I gotta say that one there.
Yeah, and Axel gave me this idea last week, but we should definitely get a comic going. It could be a Snyderverse fan comic. It could be a complete independent where we brand the channel Comics League. Just something. Together.
I mean, you're free to do one on. I'm doing my thing. He's doing his thing. You're welcome to your stuff. We'll cross promote each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we can do crossovers because we own all these characters.
Check the private chat.
Yeah. So we're going to put on real quick. We're going to take a short break from our thing to do a brief promotion for Nick's book, Screecher. Mine is in the very early stages. Iron Man versus Iron Man. It's got to be Iron Man v Batman. It's going to be Batman.
Yeah.
Because all Iron Man has to do, all Batman has to do is use an electromagnetic pulse. And then
Though to be fair, I'm pretty sure Iron Man would have like countermeasures against EMP in his suits because it's a very obvious weakness.
But would he be able to best Bruce in a fist fight?
Mm-hmm. Oh, a tarot card reading superhero. Yeah, it sounds real. So it's basically a Madame Xanadu.
Okay.
I like that. I like that very much. That's an interesting idea. I'm working on a novel I want to make into a comic. Awesome. We're all comic book creators. That's awesome. So here's Nick's book, Screecher. Do you want to give the people a brief introduction to the character?
So basically, it stars a 19-year-old woman named Avery Fletcher who's called back to her hometown after she gets word that her father, who's been incarcerated for 7 years, for a crime he did not commit. Basically, she's got 2 weeks to prove his innocence, or otherwise he's going to be killed by the corrupt corporation that originally employed him. He's got some secrets in that old noggin of his, and she can't do it as herself, so she must don the costume and become the Winged Avenger Screecher.
And
she must become something else.
Yeah, and mine is about an immortal, a superpowered princess from another planet who has to escape a dark side-like being invading her planet because she augments other people's powers. She crashes on Earth, becomes a member of my version of the Justice League, and then it take the war to him. It's heavily based on the Snyderverse. And by the way, Maeve, add me on Twitter. It's coming along here, and then we can talk about promoting your book because I'd love to do it. So
yeah, same here. Add me as well.
Yeah, I this is why I say Batman, because Batman's actually more trained than Tony Stark is.
Especially if you give Batman prep time.
Yeah, if you give Batman prep time. Yeah, and here's Nick's Twitter. I will put that right down here.
Yeah, Jay Heat. If you want to drop your Twitter, make sure to put in the private chat.
Hold on.
And put the link in. So there you go. That's Nick minus Comics League JT.
And here's my chat. Here's my little Twitter is going in the chat right now. I'm starting to make a comeback. But yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Oh.
Which version of Jean Grey?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Ooh. If it's Phoenix. Oh.
I'm giving it to Superman because she's powerful.
It's close.
It's close,
yeah,
but I still say
close.
Superman because he
if
would fly into
it's
the
dark,
sun.
If it's dark Phoenix, yeah, she wins without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has like Dark Phoenix is Dr. Manhattan levels of strong.
Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculously close.
But if it's just regular Phoenix, I give the edge to Superman.
But actually, when I could see, if it's Dark Phoenix, I could see Superman actually trying to talk like Jean down from gain control, because that's totally what Superman would do. Yeah,
because
he would try to.
The only people who could talk her down are literally Logan and Scott, and maybe Charles Xavier.
No, I mean, he would try to, because it's Superman, but it wouldn't work, and then we would get the fight. And honestly, as much as I love Superman, I gotta give this one. It's a close fight, but it's gotta be Jean Grey if it's the Dark Phoenix.
Also, I might say Wonder Woman might have a chance of talking her down.
Wonder Woman probably, because
Apocalypse or Dark Side.
Dark Side again, because true form Dark Side. But so I could see Wonder Woman wrapping Jean Grey in the lasso of truth, and it helps her overcome the Phoenix, because that happens in comics.
So Apocalypse, while very powerful, is just he's not a god. He's not a godlike being. He's like the first. He's near godlike, but Darkseid is probably 5 times more powerful than Apocalypse.
Maybe Trigon. Maybe Apocalypse versus Trigon. Maybe.
Let me explain to you guys a little bit about Darkseid, because I'm kind of a Darkseid scholar, because he's my favorite DC villain. When you see Darkseid's body, that's just a physical avatar of Darkseid. The real Darkseid is like a ethereal being that is invincible. You cannot kill true form Darkseid. Absolutely cannot. So that's why I say anyone versus Darkseid. Literally anyone, it's Darkseid. I have a question for you guys. Do you think it's okay for me to write a comic book? Yeah, sure.
As long as you do it respectfully. That's the only caveat.
Substance, respect, and execution.
Yeah, as long as it's
Try to
avoid.
avoid tropes. I mean, tropes aren't bad, but if you rely on the tropes, if you
You could
create a
stumble into
character out of-
something very stereotypical.
Yeah,
And
but if you do have a character that does have some tropes, that is not immediately a bad thing.
it's
Yeah.
a very fine line.
The way I see it is
Yeah.
that you can, and this goes for any media, you can do anything you want as long as you're being respectful to the group you are depicting, because ultimately you are depicting a real group of people.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're respectful, I don't think it makes a difference whether or not you're gay or not.
Like I literally have a comic that stars a woman, and I'm not.
Yeah, avoid stereotypes. There you go. My main character is a woman, and last time I checked, I'm a dude. So,
Yeah, I'm a dude as well.
yeah, we're good. We're all dudes. We're all dudes here. But my point is, as long as you're being respectful and not like destroying and not like making fun of people, it's totally fine. I don't see any problem with that.
I was going to try to keep Dark Crisis out of this, but what do y'all think of the new Dark Crisis Young Justice issue that came out the other day?
I haven't read that. I'm only reading the main Dark Crisis issues. That's my main thing because I've heard the tie-ins are like inconsequential.
All I'm gonna say is, if you want to, you'll have an aneurysm if you try to read those.
What
books.
the
Megan
best thing
Fitzmartin
I've
is a
seen
complete
in
hack.
Dark Crisis is when Hal Jordan makes a construct and it's the Justice League. Like it's the entire. They did something like that in Last Ride where it's Hal Jordan and he just brings in like 50,000 Justice League. But because I have. The idea is to make a villain for the tarot card superhero is a gay man who's made out of a body of water. He's like Poison Ivy, except he controls his body of water. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really... Poison Ivy. Who would Poison Ivy fight on the Marvel side?
There are so many elementals in Marvel. It's hard to pick.
Oh, Swamp Thing versus Man Thing. We can call it Giant
Swamp
Size...
Thing.
We can call it Giant Size Man Thing versus Swamp Thing.
Wait, who would be the Rhino? Who would be a good matchup for the Rhino?
Juggernaut.
No,
They're
I mean on
both
DC.
Marvel.
Superman?
Oh,
No.
Oh, I have a good battle. Iron Man versus Cyborg. Probably Cyborg ultimately because of how powerful
Cyborg
he is.
can control machines.
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Black Poison Ivy versus Nature Girl. Probably.
Okay.
Black Mask versus Kingpin. Kingpin because Kingpin actually has powers per se. He could punch.
And he's more willing to get his hands.
Luther versus Norman Osborn.
Luther.
I don't know. I don't know. They're both vicious. Like,
but Norman goes mad because of the Goblin Serum.
But he's still a very ruthless businessman.
But here's the thing: Lex has gone toe to toe with Superman.
But you also got to realize Norman has the Green Goblin Serum, which gives him literally he's at power level is about on par with Spider-Man.
He's right.
That's true.
So basically power armor Lex Luthor versus the Green Goblin. That is essentially what we're asking.
I
give him money Green Goblin.
I still say Lex because Lex is the smartest person in the DC universe, so he would be able to think a way out of it.
It depends on whether or not he can outthink and outmaneuver him fast enough.
Here's the last one.
I don't think power armor Lex could outmaneuver the Green Goblin, and also because like he has a glider. Also, Green Goblin has more options at his disposal, like the pumpkin bombs. They're like he has a lot of different tricks on his sleeve. Like sure the suit could fly, but like the glider would literally run circles around him.
And Maeve, you're not bombarding us with questions. That's totally fine. That's why we're here. We're hanging out. We're hanging out. We got your buddies hanging out. Apocalypse versus Black Adam. Oh,
Apocalypse.
That's a fairer fight, and I gotta say Apocalypse on that one. That's a fairer fight than Apocalypse v Darkseid, but it's Apocalypse. Because Apocalypse is close to Darkseid power levels, and Black Adam is more like farther away.
Wildcat versus Wolverine.
Wolverine.
It would be a good fight, though.
U.S. Agent versus Peacemaker. U.S. Agent. And by the way,
U.S. Agent. Does Peacemaker have any superpowers?
Nope. While
U.S. Agent literally has super soldier serum.
And by the way, it can move the ocean and make and flood the earth. Yeah, that is dope.
Red X versus Spider-Man.
Red X, because
Spider-Man.
Red X is willing to kill.
Now, if
But,
he's actually able to use
but
this enough-
Spider-Man is really tricky. The problem with Spider-Man is he's really hard to nail down because he's like bouncing all over the place.
Wait,
But
Damian Wayne versus Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Who's Jesse Prescott?
Now, here's why I say Spider-Man. Spider-Man has more experience. He's not as impulsive. But Damian would put up one hell of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Damian would put up one hell of a fight.
literally
And-
the only way a Bat character could do is if they use the batarangs to cut the webs.
Flash. A well-timed
Because
battering.
Batman could probably take down Spider-Man. Anyone else, I doubt it.
And Tevia, this one's for you. John Kent versus Spider-Man.
Now, the only
Oh.
way...
Oh,
Electra.
I'm going with Electra on this one.
Electra.
Electra. It's not even a fight on that
Oh,
one.
I got one better for
Black
you.
Lightning versus Luke Cage.
Black Lightning, superpowers.
But Luke Cage.
But Luke Cage has impenetrable skin.
Oh, actually, that's better. True. Yeah, I'll go with Luke Cage. Wait, Batman versus Matter Eater Lad. Batman.
Black Lightning versus Electro.
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. I would have to go with Black Lightning on that one. Let's see. Superman versus Hyperion.
Superman.
Yeah, I gotta go with Superman. I mean, here's the thing: Hyperion doesn't have a kryptonite weakness.
Deathstroke versus Kraven the Hunt. No, versus Kraven the Hunter.
Deathstroke has a healing factor and like enhanced stuff.
And
Oh,
Beast
and
Boy
now-
doesn't
now-
have much of a chance either.
Wait, are we talking Kraven the Hunter or Kraven the vegan animal rights activist from the upcoming Kraven movie? Raiden versus Azula. This is for you
Oh
guys.
no, we're bringing Mortal Kombat into this.
I mean, considering that Raiden is literally the god of lightning, her
Thunder.
lightning would do nothing to her. In fact, it'd probably
You could just
power
redirect
Raiden.
it.
Real quick, because someone mentioned Mortal Kombat.
Get over here!
Had to. There you go.
Oh, okay.
That was a great movie.
Okay, I got one for you. Scorpion versus Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Go-
Penn and Stare.
Depends. If you're are you talking about the arcade, the first timeline Mortal Kombat? Or are you talking about the post console era?
Oh yeah, the stupid reboot they did that I'm like really
Yeah.
annoyed about. Oh jeez.
Pre reboot when he was literally a demon from hell.
Pre reboot, Scorpion. Pre
Yeah.
reboot.
See what's a good one? Master Chief versus Deathstroke.
Master Chief.
I'm gonna go with Chief on this one because Chief is faster.
Master Chief has the Mjolnir armor. Deathstroke is not landing a hit.
What if he had the God Killer sword in the New 52?
No, still Chief because the Chief is fast enough. And plus, here's the thing: when you add an AI into the mix, Chief's reflexes are dialed up to 1,000.
So here's the thing: the God Killer sword, if he gets in enough hits, sure he could cut it off. It's like if you had a Jedi go up against Captain America. That a lightsaber would not immediately cut through the shield because, like, the way I see it is, remember in episode 1 when they tried to melt the door? It actually took a while. It would kind of be like, so any glancing blows wouldn't do anything. You'd have to like literally stick it in there and like slowly cut it, but it's possible.
It's possible. It's still it requires more time than a person would have fighting the Master Chief. By the way, Zealot versus Psylocke. I give this one to Psylocke.
Okay, this is a new character, so you might have to do some research on this one. Jin versus Scarlet Witch.
Who's Jin?
Jin from the Adam Glass run. Hold on, let me see.
And by the way, Liu Kang versus Fiona the Human. Oh, I got a good one for you. I don't know who I know who Liu Kang is. I don't know who Fiona the Human is, but I got a good one for you. Eren Yeager versus the Hulk.
Kratos versus Solomon Grundy.
Kratos. And by the way, so who wins? The Hulk versus the Titan. I gotta say the Hulk, because again, the stronger, the more he gets hit.
You know what book I want to see?
Okay.
Craven versus. No. This is a book that Marvel needs to make, especially now that they own the rights.
What?
Craven versus Predator.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Craven hunts the predator.
No. Well, yeah, that's what it is. It's like the predator is hunting Craven, but then he hunts him back.
Yeah, of course. That would be so dope. I would love that.
But yeah, that 4,000-year-old genie I was telling you about from the Adam Glass run, that's her.
And at one point, does Craven go, "Here I am! Come on, kill me! Come on, I'm over here! Do it!" That would basically become the Predator movie when you think about it.
Who'd be a good matchup for the Lizard
In DC?
in DC?
Killer Croc.
Yeah, they're essentially the same character. Yeah.
There you go.
Also, I give the money on Killer Croc because that
Me
guy's
too.
vicious.
That guy, he's a scrappy fellow.
Wait, I can actually kind of do his voice from Arkham.
Do.
I'm coming to get you, Batman. I'm gonna hunt you, eat your bones.
Oh, yeah, and that's good.
Ultron versus Brainiac.
I got to give this one
Brainiac.
Because
Brainiac.
yeah, Ultron can multiply, but Brainiac can destroy an entire planet. He just destroys.
It would be a battle. Don't get me wrong. It's
It'd be a
not
dope
a
battle.
curb stomp. It's not a curb stomp, but Brainiac would win.
Yeah, it's as much as I want that. It's like, how about Cyborg versus Ultron?
Yeah.
Oh, I got one
We'll say
for you.
Cyborg. What's up?
Katara from Avatar
Okay, I know her.
Okay.
versus Mira.
Ooh.
Mara.
Okay, now I can tell you haven't seen Avatar.
If you've seen Atla,
has
you would know.
Katana held back an entire tsunami?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also, the thing in Avatar. Okay. Just one. I'm going to say this one word, and Jay Heat's going to know exactly. Bloodbending.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Maeve, watch the Krypton show. The Krypton show had a better depiction of Brainiac.
Also, here's the other thing about waterbenders. They can actually freeze the water and do like icicle stuff.
I got one.
So literally, Katara could freeze Mira in place.
Katara versus
All right.
Iceman. That's a
Yeah,
match.
I was about to say that one. I say Iceman because he could freeze anything she does. And
considering Iceman is an Omega level mutant, yeah, I agree.
He could overpower, but Katara, I mean, she would go down fighting.
Let me see. The who would be a good match for the Human Torch?
Ozai.
How about DC?
Fire Lord Ozai.
How about DC?
Pyro.
Okay.
No. Pyro is Marvel. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's a flame character in DC?
Heatwave.
I'm trying to think.
Heatwave, Firefly.
Firefly.
They mostly use gadgets.
Maeve, Flubber versus Green Arrow.
Bum. No. Flubber versus the Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears, faster than everywhere. They are the Gummy Bears.
Hades, Ares versus Hela. Or Firestorm.
Firestorm. It's got to be Firestorm. And by the way, Hades versus Hela. I gotta give this one to probably Hades.
Wait, is it in terms of Ares or is he actually saying Hades? Like,
I'm sorry, Hades, because if you die, he just goes right back to the area. I want to see Green Arrow. Never mind, but yeah, that would honestly not be a fight. It would be a team up.
Yeah.
He would have a Flubber arrow. Oh, how about Parasite? Versus Apocalypse.
No. Parasite versus Rogue.
Oh.
Who sucks more?
Before you pass out, the Spectre versus Dormammu. Spectre, because the Spectre is actually God's vengeance.
But Dormammu is kind of literally an interdimensional being. I kind of like
Dormammu and Trigon would be a better matchup.
No, because here's the thing: Spectre is an Avatar God's justice. Dormammu is literally a god.
That's the thing. No, but here's the thing: the Spectre is the Spectre of the god.
I still think, but the thing is, Dormammu is at least 10 times more powerful than the Spectre. Like Dormammu is Galactus level of power, maybe even more so.
Okay.
Well,
This-
not if
this-
you come to bargain.
Living Tribunal. Living Tribunal
Tribunal.
is
And tribunal. It's tribunal.
Okay, Kratos versus Thor.
Kratos,
Kratos.
because he's killed Thor in the games, right?
Did he?
I mean, we'll see in the next game.
But still, it's like Kratos kills gods. Now Kratos versus
That's
Wonder
kind
Woman.
of his thing.
Now Kratos versus Wonder Woman. That's a fight. I still
They
say
just
Wonder
end up-
Woman.
No, okay, I got one for you. Kratos versus Conan.
Oh wait,
Oh,
and God King,
King
Thor.
Thor.
Yeah, God King Thor is one of those trump cards.
I
Yeah.
still think, yeah, God King Thor versus Superman 1,000,000.
Superman 1,000,000.
Yeah, I say Superman 1,000,000.
Oh, I got one for you.
Another thing, or Green Arrow off flubber really has to do with just being, just going Green Arrow's mouth.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Sakaar from Thor
Okay.
versus Godzilla.
Sakar's a planet.
No, the villain for Thor Ragnarok.
So the entire planet, the entire
No,
inhabitants of
if
the
you
planet?
think Thor Ragnarok, the movie,
Yeah,
Okay.
the flame guy, the one who destroys Asgard.
that's
Surtur?
Surtur. That's not Sakar.
Surtur.
Sakar's the planet.
Surtur. Sorry, Surtur. I meant Surtur.
All right, so who is he
Surtur,
fighting?
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Depends which era of Godzilla we're talking about.
Oh, that's true. But in that case, Surtur. Surtur versus actually wait.
Trigon would be a direct equivalent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's see. Odin versus Zeus.
Odin.
Yeah, Odin.
Yeah.
He has the Odin force. I gotta get
And he's
get that going.
wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's wiser and hasn't impregnated half the human race.
Yeah. Odin is literally one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I gotta give you that one. Oh, Sonya Blade versus Black Canary.
Ooh.
It would be close, but I gotta say Black Canary because Black Canary can just scream. She's a screamer. My favorite moment from Justice League Crisis on Two Earths is when she leans in close to someone's head and goes, "Want to hear a secret?"
Okay,
That's so
fine.
good.
You want okay? If she's a screamer, then Black Canary versus Banshee.
Canary.
Banshee.
Okay.
Here's how it goes. In terms of raw screaming power, Banshee wins by a mile. But the problem is if Black Canary can get up close, Banshee is not as good as a martial artist as Black Canary.
She's not as reactive.
Kevin Feige versus James Gunn.
I'll chuckle at that.
The Beatles versus One Direction. Now we're getting really crazy right now.
Yeah.
Oh, King Kong versus Kraven the Hunter.
I'd watch that fight.
Oh, here's a movie. Kraven the Hunter, but he wants to hunt Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Oh,
The writers of She-Hulk
wait.
versus a
Tom
elementary.
Taylor.
No.
Let him finish.
No, let me do my joke. The writers of She-Hulk versus a middle school textbook on writing 101.
Middle school textbook.
No,
And by the way,
writing 101.
Laura Croft wins this easily.
Laura Croft.
By the way,
No, actually Cassie Cage, because later on Johnny Cage develops some sort of green power stuff, and Cassie Cage inherits it.
Okay.
So Cassie Cage actually has superhuman abilities. Plus, she's a Mortal Kombat fighter. Laura Croft is not much of a combatant. Okay, and
Who would be a good
Cassie
matchup
Cage
for Cassandra
has literally
Cain?
gone up against some of the most powerful fighters in all the realms.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Cassie Cage.
Dr. Fate. And by the way, I have one more. Okay. The Phoenix 5 versus the Red Lanterns.
Red Lanterns.
It could go either way.
Because
Right.
remember, the Phoenix 5 are them imbued with Phoenix powers. But honestly, here's the thing. It would be Red Lanterns because the Phoenix 5 would start to fight each other for the Phoenix's powers. That happened in the comics, and that's why they lost. So, I don't know. There's...
All right, I got one for you. Oh, wait. I got one for you. No, I want to do mine first.
Okay.
Dick
Mickey
first and then
Mouse
Dickie.
versus his expiring copyright.
And Red Lantern do their numbers by look at Maeve.
Okay, I got one more.
All right.
Cassandra Cain or Taskmaster?
Uh-huh.
Taskmaster, because he's older, he's got more experience.
And then he
Cassandra
copies
Cain's
moves.
But Cassandra Cain is she doesn't. Yeah.
I said
Taskmaster would probably have at least 2 feet on her, probably have at least 100 pounds more muscle.
And be able to copy any move she uses. By the way, we're talking comics Taskmaster, right? Not the crappy movie one. Lady Gaga versus Cher. Okay, now we're just naming random stuff.
Okay, I got one for you. Sonic versus the Flash.
Flash
Flash
goes back in time. I've never seen Sonic go back in time.
Really good matchup with Mario.
Remember, Wario?
Mario.
No, but wait. Well, for Mario, they're probably. Oh, the Flash versus Speedy Gonzalez versus the Roadrunner versus the Coyote.
Wow, Coyote.
Why the Coyote? I say Flash because because Infinite Mass Punch.
Beep beep.
Also, you do realize that Sonic can go supersonic, and that's literally supersonic is equivalent to Super Saiyan. So just keep that in mind.
Master Chief versus, okay, not Deathstroke, but Batman.
It's close.
I say Chief on this one because all the Chief has to do is one punch. He's an augmented human being, like more augmented than Deathstroke. All he needs is one. They had a scene where the Chief, outside of armor, fought like 5 trained Navy SEAL level dudes and killed them with his bare hands.
All right, let's make it a fair matchup. Master Chief versus the Hellbat with Batman and the Hellbat armor.
Hellbat armor.
No, Master Chief.
Because all the Hellbat armor has to do is shoot him with the chest laser. It's over.
Do you realize how powerful the Mjolnir armor is? Like the Mjolnir armor is literally designed to take hits from literally take hits that the Hellbat armor can dish out times 10. Like you got to realize the Master Chief is literally as a one-man army against universal threats. Batman is even in the Hellbat armor is nothing.
And this is He-Man because he's fighting a teenager at that point.
With the power of Grayskull.
And by that Hellbat armor went against Darkseid. Yeah, and
technically, that was a cheap shot.
And we were just said that all of the Underworld versus Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, she'd find a way to win, and it'd be hilarious.
I'd pay to watch that fight.
I'd pay to watch it. They kind of had that in Injustice because what happened was Hippolyta, and Billy Batson got killed and sent to the Underworld, and they have to fight their way back.
I got one for you.
What's up?
Selene from Underworld versus Blade.
Ooh. That's a good one.
That I have to think about that one. Probably Blade, I would say.
I want to say Blade,
but actually Selena's killed many vampires, so.
And the thing is, Selene also, if she's fully equipped with all of her tricks, yeah, she's very dangerous.
It could go either way.
My thing is, it would be 6 out of the 10 scale. Blade would win 6 of those battles.
Danny Phantom versus the Sanderson sisters. I got one. You ready? Michael Morbius versus the Batman, but it's the Red Rain Batman.
It's Morbin time.
And by the way, I gotta say on this one,
Black Cat, because Black Cat actually has superhuman abilities.
Black Cat.
In some versions she does, but yeah, I agree with Black Cat. And by the way, Zero Suit
Bayonetta.
Okay, I've never. I'm not really as familiar with it. It's Morbid.
Bayonetta is like an Umbra witch, so she has magical powers. Mm-hmm. And Zero Suit Samus, if it was Samus in the armor, I might. It would be more of an even match, but I still give it to Bayonetta. But Zero Suit Samus literally is just a cosplayer's dream, skin suit, tight suit. Oh my god, look up Zero Suit Samus cosplays. Oh.
Yeah, no.
God bless you, ladies.
My search history agrees with you.
Starfire versus the Human Torch.
Starfire.
Why did we not think of this earlier?
Oh, yeah, that's true. In Starfire, honestly.
Wait, what about Blackfire versus Marvel villain?
Who could you use?
Yeah. And then this will be our last one for the night because it's like 2:30 right now.
Yeah.
May, if you want to help us out here, who would Blackfire fight?
Oh, I got one for you.
What's up?
Since Maeve, A-Train versus Quicksilver.
A-Train, because A-Train will murder.
But also Quicksilver has murdered.
No,
the reason I chose Quicksilver is because they're kind of closer to power levels.
Against any reality warper versus the Book of Ashanti.
So we're talking like Franklin Richards, whatnot.
Franklin Richards defeats literally everyone.
Okay, Dr. Manhattan versus Dark Phoenix.
Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan.
Because he
actually
exists...
here's the unit. All the multiverses would literally implode because of their battle.
No, not necessarily, because here's what Dr. Manhattan would do. Since he exists in all moments of time, he would just go and prevent Jean Grey from being exposed to the Phoenix. Because he exists in all points in time.
Magneto versus...
I think it's kind of funny. There's one reason why Magneto's not in the MCU, because everyone on that team uses metal for their gear.
Beyonder versus Dr. Manhattan. Ooh.
Beyonder.
I think Beyonder is like a multiversal kind of entity, so I'd say Beyonder.
Magneto, I would say, because
Magneto.
Yeah. And by the whole multiverse, every TV show in existence fighting in one battle, that would be quite a brouhaha. That'd be a rumble.
So, I'm trying to think. What about the Doctor from Doom Patrol? Versus
Doctor Who?
Oh no.
No.
Oh, you want to know my dream crossover storyline? A Back to the Future Doctor Who crossover.
That could work.
Basically, the setup is the DeLorean ends up in the TARDIS.
Okay, that works.
Star Trek versus the Green Lantern Corps.
It's Green Lantern Corps. Because you get them outside of their ships and guess what? And we're beyond the point where they're weak to the color yellow.
All right, so okay. What is the name of Shepard's ship?
Wait. The Normandy, and by the way,
the Normandy versus the Enterprise, and by Enterprise, I'm talking the Galaxy class Enterprise from Next Generation.
Still Normandy. I have.
You do realize that like the Galaxy class starship is like 50 times bigger than the Normandy?
No, but the Normandy has destroyed ships 100 times its size. And by the way, I got one. Are you ready for this one? And god damn it, I forgot what it was. But by the way, Green Lantern Corps versus Nova Corps, Green Lanterns.
Cylons versus Daleks. Cylons versus Daleks.
I have no idea.
By the way, the answer.
What Daleks are?
You've never. Well, the Daleks are from Doctor Who. You know what Cylons are, though, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. I was about to take your nerd card if you hadn't seen Battlestar.
No, I've seen Battlestar. I've seen at least the movie for Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, here's one. Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica versus what's that woman from The Mandalorian? The queen, whatever.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah, Bo-Katan versus Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, but it's just like a bar fight. They don't have she doesn't have her armor. Also, by the way, you do realize it's the same actress. It's the same actress.
I know, but I still say it's Bo-Katan because Mandalorians are ridiculous. Speaking of Mandalorians, and this last should be the last one before we go.
Bo-Katan would end up with a bloody nose. Bo-Katan would win, but she'd have a bloody nose.
If you could choose any 10 characters to protect the multiverse with to stop evil forces, who would you choose? Superman, Dr. Manhattan. That's an obvious choice right there. Wonder Woman. Any 10. Master Chief. Din Djarin from Mandalorian, and probably Hal Jordan for obvious reasons. He's Hal Jordan, and Galactus. I'm allowed to pick that, and then I would honestly pick. And by the way, my Superman is the Snyder Superman who kills people, and. I would honestly go with, if I could, my 10th one. Man, what would be my 10th one? That's a really good question, Maeve. Oh, Homelander.
Dude, you picked the worst Superman clone.
No, because all I gotta do is say, okay, so I will give you fame if you go kill that dude. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, so mine is Superman, Goku, the Flash, probably Randall Thor from the Wheel of Time series, literally the Dragon Reborn.
Mhm.
If you've read Wheel of Time, you'll know exactly why. Geralt of Rivia. Let's see.
Say Superman 2 so you can have Henry Cavill twice.
Yes, it's the Witcher 3 version, so I'm sorry.
Dang it.
The Doomslayer.
Oh, of course. The Doom guy, you mean? Of course.
No, he's a Doomslayer. Like,
I know.
like if you don't like, yeah. So the Doomslayer.
And whenever he fights, he's heavy metal.
Let's see here. Phoenix.
Of course.
Trying to think here. Kirby.
Of course.
Like, do you like if you know video games, you know how insanely
Yeah.
powerful Kirby is.
Yeah, I know.
The guy swallowed entire universes. Dr. Manhattan,
Of course.
and then finally One Punch Man.
Yeah. I got one more. I kind of want to swap out Homelander because I just thought of like someone that would be
So much could go wrong with Homelander.
so much could go wrong. He just turned on my entire team. Can I
Just
use
say
my
Sentry.
Can I use my comic book character because she augments everyone else's powers?
Okay.
Sure.
And by the way, so she should choose Black Canary, Scarlet Witch, Harley Quinn, Silver Surfer, Wiccan, Dreamer, Red and Blue Power Ranger, and some gay couple that
Wait, what?
has. All right, that works.
Okay.
So you want like North Star and whatnot?
Mhm. Oh, and in this case, it's null. I'd say null.
No.
Null, absolutely null on this one. So Jay Heat,
Okay.
finish
Dr.
this up.
Manhattan, Superman, Kratos, Sonic.
Okay.
Who else?
Actually, I want to swap out another one of mine, Shadow.
Fair enough. Okay. Screw it. Shadow, One Punch Man, Goku, Vegeta.
Oh, and I'm swapping one more, Aaron Yeager.
I knew you were gonna pick Eren Yeager. Naruto
Okay.
and Sasuke.
I love how like our lists are like just stacked full of anime characters. I love it.
Because anime characters are ridiculously powerful. I mean, oh, geez. So on that note, we're going to call this...
Oh, I'm swapping at one, Rick Sanchez.
Of course.
I can see that.
I could see that. And so on that note, we're going to call this stream to a conclusion. Welcome, Maeve, to the Comics League streams. We hope to see you again here more and to hear about that comic
Saint
series.
Seiya. Oh, we got someone old school.
Saint Seiya are awesome.
All right.
That's deception. A good stream. Yeah, we're going to do a full stream of just this because this was fun as hell. And
Yeah.
And actually, Maeve, if you ever want to be on that panel, you're more than welcome to. We like meeting new people that have the same interests as us.
Also, if you're looking for some good comics, make sure to check out Screecher.
Link is up
Jared,
there.
could you pop the link one more time?
Sure, I'll pop the link one more time. My comic is in the process of being drawn, so that's why I haven't shown a thing.
And
trust me, we'll be promoting the crap out of that one.
And let us know if you actually want us to do like comic voiceovers. Like we just take a particular storyline and we just act off and we just act it out.
So good.
Vegeta!
What we need to do,
I'm wanting
we
you.
could do Justice League Origin from the new 52, the interaction between Batman and Green Lantern.
You weren't concentrating.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly. We have to do something that involves Constantine so Jay Heat can go, can do it.
Why do I feel like we're going to do a Justice League abridged series?
We probably are. My comic, when it comes out, it's called Terror of the Future. You can find it on, just look for it when it comes out. Absolutely.
Okay. We look forward to it.
add us on Twitter, and we'll talk about it. I'd love to.
Yeah, for sure.
So, thank you all for coming and hanging out, boys. Where can everyone find you? Neck first.
You can find me on Twitter at Project Access One. YouTube, search the Phoenix Press. You can find me on Comic Sleeve. Look for the Pretty Boy.
You mean the other pretty boy?
Not
Really?
impressed.
Yeah. All right. So it's one more time for the Knights. Since Jay Heat brought it up, I gotta do it.
Not impressed.
So yeah, that's it. Take care, guys. All right. See you, Hominus.
Excelsior!
All right. So stay heroic, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.